to midfield. He's going to make his way upfield. He's at the 30, 25, 20. He's going. Oh, my God! That is the way to look at this. That's it. Thank you so much for joining us on yet another gorgeous Saturday afternoon in Washington, D.C. This is the First Amendment Sports WCAC Game of the Week, live from I Street, home of the Gonzaga College High School Purple Eagles, set to host the DeMatha Catholic High School Stags in a battle of the number 1 versus the number 4 teams in the city. I'm joined by Kevin Ricka.
So happy to be here. You're right, Ken. This weather is tremendous. You knew it would be a great day for weather when we came to do this rematch.
He's Tim Strachan.
Man, this setting right here down in D.C., great day, two great teams. The hospitality down here on I Street at Gonzaga has been unbelievable, and we're looking forward to a fantastic football game today.
Thank you to Joe Rada. Thank you to the Gonzaga College High School Purple Eagle family. All these fine parents, all these students treating us right already, just like they did last week in Forestville at McNamara. We're so proud and thankful for our Gonzaga brethren.
Well, that's how they made us feel, which is a fact. I mean, we walked in before we got out of the door. We had a dozen sandwiches put on our lap.
I was still driving in when they're like, hey, we got your spot
space
over here.
Yep. That's well done, Gonzaga. Our WCAC brethren making us feel right at home. Absolutely.
We got some pregame business to take care of. We are going to cut to the coin toss live for something special going on. But why don't we go ahead and talk about some players we're going to see. We're about 10 minutes away from kickoff. Players to watch today, guys, and let's start with the Gonzaga side of the ball. Number 18 goes without saying, Caleb Williams, the quarterback who's been blowing our minds, at I Street. Goes without saying. Malcolm Terry, number 2, the running back. Josh Williams, who we learned to love last year.
Yeah, he really showed out.
He
earned to get his name on the screen in the way that he played last year on both sides of the ball.
And I was talking to his dad this morning. Some of his upper-class teammates from last season who had to take on those double teams while Josh was racking up stats, they came back for this reunion weekend at Gonzaga asking him, hey, how's your season going?
Yeah.
He said, well, I'm not getting those stats anymore. They said, yeah, guess why? Because you're the guy. And we want to make sure we talk about that vaunted offensive line, the heralded Gonzaga offensive line. Every single one of those guys deserves all the love, all the offers, all the respect that they get. They're getting it done. Let's talk about the players on the other side of the ball for DeMatha. Marshawn Lloyd.
Well, that's where it starts. Marshawn Lloyd is just a special talent. He does things on a football field that just makes you go, wow. And he did that in the championship game last year. I'm pretty sure we're going to see some of that again today. Malachi Anthony stepping in his senior year as a transfer at quarterback, trying to get things done. He's done a much better job in the last few weeks getting tuned up for this WCAC. Keziah Izzard going to Penn State. He's a Penn State commit, one of 3 Penn State commits that's going to be in this game today. 2 others on the other, Golden Achumba on the offensive line for DeMatha as well. Both of those guys going to Penn State. Greg Penn, a guy in the middle of the defense who is just a fantastic athlete. Looks really good out there. So DeMatha certainly has a whole bunch of guys that are going to be going up against some other really special talents on the Gonzaga side.
We're going to switch over and talk some keys here. We do expect this coin toss to happen momentarily, and we will go live to it. But for keys to the game for Gonzaga, we talk about what they've been able to do so far, not just against WCAC talent, but against everybody. Caleb Williams is going to be coming at you. We know that Gonzaga, in order for them to succeed, they're going to have to establish another playmaker, Malcolm Terry, Aaron Turner, guys who've been able to get it done. But Kev, passing game partner for Caleb Williams in a game like this is going to be huge.
Yeah, Aaron Turner is going to be the guy. They never got loose last week, and if you saw the St. John's Good Counsel game last night, you understood why. The heat that was being brought, they weren't able to get the ball down to the field, but keep an eye on number 5 today. Aaron Turner is dynamic. He showed it last year in the championship game. Keeping Marshawn Lloyd from the home run play. Now, Marshawn's going to get his.
Tall task.
Last year in the championship game, he had 170 yards rushing and a touchdown. In the regular season contest between the 2 teams, he had 4 rushing touchdowns, 154 yards. So he's gotten his against Gonzaga. But like they did last year, I hate to say that 170 and a touchdown is containing, but it is with a talent like Marshawn Lloyd. You got to stop him from making that 80-yard run and keep it to a 30 every now and then.
That's right.
And try and keep him in between the tackles.
Well, we know they got to protect Caleb, and we'll be talking about that all day. Let's talk about some keys for the DeMatha Catholic Stags. Getting Marshawn Lloyd off on those home run plays, that's a big one. But on defense, for them to be able to keep Caleb contained, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that looks like because we haven't seen it.
Yeah, we don't know if it's going to be where he's going to run the ball 20-some times like he did last week, or if he's actually going to start going to the air again. But either way, DeMatha's got to know and have an eye on him all day long.
Control that line of scrimmage. Kevin, you said it. When DeMatha's wearing those all whites, they look big, and they're going to have to play big today in order to match what Gonzaga's got going on that side of the line of scrimmage.
You know who else looked big? Is Olu Fashanu right in front of us in the pregame
one of the
warm-up.
most unbelievable-looking high school athletes I've ever seen in my life, much less he looks like a professional out there.
He does.
His physical size
He absolutely does.
And his athleticism is unbelievable.
We've all played at a high level of our various sports. We've all had that game that you want to forget, but we've all wondered what's the value of hanging on to some of those moments, some of those experiences. This DeMatha team was up 20-0 in the championship game. Gonzaga was able to overcome it and ultimately put on the highlight of the year by winning the WCAC last year. I know it's a new coach. Coach Bill McGregor's in town. I know it's a new year, but every coach and program in this WCAC worth their salt has a date circled from something that happened in the last year or two. Every one of us have talked to coaches in this league that have the November 9th or the championship. It's important. I like the fact that they hang on to it. I like the fact that it lingers, and I hope that it inspires as opposed to detracts or brings down.
Well, you hate to remember, but today's a day where you can ease the pain and make yourself forget for some of these kids that were underclassmen in last year's game.
So we are going to go we'll be watching. We want to tell you guys, people who have been watching our show on Tuesdays and have been following us know that the Gonzaga family, the Gonzaga community lost just an absolute pillar of their family. Class of 94, Mike Lynn, number 31. As the Gonzaga Purple Eagles take the field, the coin toss will come out. Mike Lynn's family, Erica, Noah Emerson will be out there. Jim Miller, class of 94, teammate of Mike's, good friend of all of ours. They'll be out there for a real special moment. And, on behalf of my friends and on behalf of, the class of 94 guys who've known Mike for a long time and known the kind of man that he is, he was the best of us. He was the absolute best of us. The world is a worse off place without him, but he made it so much better, and he's made his mark. He leaves a legacy of work ethic. He leaves a legacy of family first, faith first, and he is remembered today.
Oh man.
And there's Noah. Take you to center field. I wasn't going to be the one to break that silence. That was awesome. You could hear a pin drop in this field. I had a chance to talk to Jim Miller last night, and it's real special for everybody who knew Mike. It's real special for his family and his friends to have a weekend like this for him.
Yeah, I know that this community was rocked when he lost that battle with cancer, and our hearts and prayers go out to him.
We miss you, Mike. We are under a minute until this game is set to kick off. A lot of emotions, as it should be, on a WCAC gridiron in mid to late October. Number 1 versus number 4, guys. Real fast. DeMatha comes in hot. Gonzaga comes in reeling just a little bit. They got to answer that. They got to respond to that. And DeMatha's got to figure out a way to erase some of the emotion that that's thick in this air.
Yeah, they certainly got to figure out how to deal with that emotional roller coaster of coming off of such a devastating win in the championship game, and they are coming in hot, yet this is their biggest test since Bosco, which was the first game of the season, one of the best teams in the entire country. And so DeMatha is going to have to get used to the speed, the size, the strength of Gonzaga, and I think for all intents and purposes, DeMatha needs to play from in front with the running game that they have, so an early lead would be really important to them. But if Gonzaga can get on the board first, this is going to be a really interesting way that this game's going to unfold going forward.
Well, the last time these guys faced off, the scoreboard was lighting up late and often. There was 3 touchdowns scored in 34 seconds, a 77-yard kickoff return, an 11-yard slant, and a 53-yard Hail Mary that I don't need to explain to anyone listening. So I'm very curious to see how this one starts off. Are they going to get right back after it? Either way, we know when these two collide, we can't predict what's going to happen. So don't give us a hard time about our weekly predictions.
We didn't know much about last night's game either.
That's
the Council versus St. John's, just a fantastic game. Well, I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more later on.
Daniel Holbrook will get things started, kicking to Gonzaga. Malcolm Terry's going to get a shot at this from the corner. He's making his way upfield. DeMatha will take over on defense. Gonzaga on offense. Not the same start we saw last week versus St. John's and
an
Bishop
opening
McNamara.
kickoff back for the touchdown, but
no Dominic Logan Neely in the house.
Well, thanks to Eugene Benjamin Taylor, number 34 on special teams. Great tackle by the DeMatha Stag tight end. And here we go. Here's the deal. How do you stop Caleb Williams?
Well, is it going to be?
What can you do about number 18?
Or is it going to be ground raid, or is it going to be air raid, or is it going to be a mix of both? We got to see how that's going to work out today.
Well, we know he's capable of both.
Aaron Turner to Caleb's left. In motion. Caleb is going to let it go in the middle of the field. Nice run. Malcolm Terry.
Oh, huge hole. Great job by the Eagles up front. We talked about the O-line, how big they are. There was just an absolutely huge hole for Terry to run through right there.
Good gainer on first down. It's going to be second and about 5.
Hurrying up.
The workhorse, man, 27 carries for 100 yards last week. First 2 carries of this week, they're not afraid to go to him. The Navy commit, he's a beast.
Going to Annapolis.
He can take the pounding. They trust him. He does not put the ball on the floor.
His father's a proud Navy man. Talked to him this morning. They got a good kid.
Gonzaga going with somewhat of a hurry-up offense, although here they're getting a few guys on, a few guys off. You got to let the defense also get their own substitutions in.
Looks like Hayden Fisher, the junior, checks in a wide receiver, wide left.
Keep an eye on Greg Penn Jr., number 3 inside linebacker for the Stags.
Quick in, slant in.
Well, DeMatha came with a blitz. Kevin talked about because the man in the middle comes on a blitz.
Nate Kariski,
Caleb sees it. Caleb
end,
sees it, hits a hot route, slant right over the middle. Good conversion for Gonzaga.
This is a big kid, a big target, a Maryland Pitt offer his sophomore year, big number 85, trying to get in the mix in the passing game.
Caleb working to his right. He's got a tight end wide open.
Big Connor
Looked
Fagan.
like Connor Fagan unable to bring it down.
We saw him in pregame also. That's a huge target. He's going to want to squeeze that one.
Huge target. But, yeah, that was maybe a little high, but it hit you in the hands. Everybody expects you to make it. DeMatha, could have had a chance of maybe even picking that off.
I don't think DeMatha wants to see Caleb out there on the flank, untouched with no one near him. That's a dangerous place for him to be.
Second and 10. Caleb under center. He's going to throw. And there, look at this. Aaron Turner. First down and then some as he breaks midfield for the Purple Eagles.
Well, what a move by Aaron Turner. As soon as he got that screen pass, he comes inside and then breaks it out. Good blocking as well on the outside.
It's excellent execution, but you can't run that play without Caleb's feet and ball handling skills. He put that ball fading away back across the field directly on the spot.
First and 10.
What a weapon.
Gonzaga for DeMatha territory on their first drive. Caleb under center. It's going to be an inside handoff. Able to stay alive.
Well, it's obvious Gonzaga wants to go pace here. They're going to try and get these DeMatha D linemen tired out as they rotate a couple in, as I say it. They're going to try and work them from sideline to sideline up and down the field.
And the clock's running, guys. I mean, this first quarter is moving. We're under 10 minutes to go as Caleb looks out over second and 10. We got a flag coming from the DeMatha sideline.
Sideline warning.
We got a sideline warning, you're right. They won't be counting that off. Clock's rolling again. It's still second and long.
As Gonzaga waits for the call, they had 82 offensive plays last week against Good Counsel's 52.
Wow.
You can obviously see what they're trying to accomplish.
Sticking with a tight formation as well this whole series.
KJ Winston, the safety for DeMatha, is just waiting. And there's the inside handoff. Malcolm Terry.
Greg Penn Jr. We couldn't stop talking about him in the championship game last year as a sophomore. We said there's some big things in his future, and obviously there is. Alabama offer, LSU offer, Florida offer. This kid is a stud, 6'3", 220, and he was guarding receivers out of the slot 30 and 40 yards downfield last year, and doing it well.
Yeah,
Kid's
Bill
an
McGregor
all-around
says
stud.
he's just a freak athlete. He can just do about anything you ask him to do, and he's a smart young man as well.
Harold Peters checks in for the Stag defense. It's third and long. Caleb Williams standing at midfield. 2 wide receivers to his right. Jalen Loudermilk to his left. He's looking to throw, and he zips one to the sidelines, unable to be held on to by Hayden Fisher, the junior wide receiver.
So far, so good on the outside with the matchups with Olu Fashanu and Patrick Moore, and keeping the pocket safe from Colin Mobley and Keziah Izzard, the Penn State commit, Keziah, and, hey, Colin Mobley, LSU, Florida, and Tennessee. There's some studs out there, but Gonzaga can counter with those 2 huge tackles.
Cameron Thomas stands at the 15-yard line for this Gonzaga punt as we're at 8.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. It's a good-looking punt. Actually, it's a little bit short, and it's going to get a DeMatha bounce. They'll take over about the 31, 32-yard line. Gonzaga worked some clock, got a couple first downs, but unable to get into scoring territory.
Yeah, DeMatha came up huge and was able to get that momentum Gonzaga had grasped early in this game and shift it back to them. Now it's up to the offense to see if they can get some things going. And I'm pretty sure first play is going to number 2.
DeMatha with the red shoes, red sock look, a majority of the team. Big boy in the all whites. Hey, both these offensive lines average over 300 pounds. By the end of this day, we'll see who's still standing.
I like it, actually. They come out firing on the outside. Everybody's going to be keying number 2 and thinking that he's their bread and butter, and they're going to start off with him instead. Malachi Anthony gets a nice little hitch pass. That's good for a quarterback's confidence early in the game. Just get that one pass under your belt.
Looks to me like that was Robert Jones Jr. on the catch.
Marshawn Lloyd.
Good contained by the Gonzaga defense.
Absolutely. There's a flag on the ground.
Looked like he had a little space out there.
Pick up about 4, maybe a yard short of the first down, but there is a flag in the territory of holding, and it is against DeMatha.
The all-white Stags against the purple and white Eagles. Stags going backward. It'll be 2nd and long.
You don't want to dig yourself a hole, Kev.
No, and running, they had a little zone read there, and he went to the wide side. I want to see what happens up the middle here with these big guys up front. You know, getting Jordan White back has been a huge deal. The Maryland commit, the right tackle for the DeMatha Stags. And this battle about this O-line versus this defensive front, Gonzaga lost 5 senior starters off their front 7 last year.
Malachi in shotgun. Marshawn right behind him. And it's Marshawn up the middle. Not a lot there.
Nope, that was the test we were just talking about.
Well, Joshua Williams, the man in the middle, holding it down, does a great job and not moving, standing his ground and allowing the linebackers to fill the gaps. No room for Marshawn to run. Forcing a really long 3rd down and about 15.
This is where Gonzaga wants to be at this point, that's for sure.
Keep an eye on Marshawn up the seam. You know, historically speaking, seeing these DeMatha running backs, a little circle route or a stick to keep it going down the middle of the field.
Josh Dodd, Jaden Bradley out wide right.
Kai Holmes in the backfield, spying.
Malachi looking to throw. He's got lots of time. He's going to tuck it and run. Not what Coach McGregor wanted. That ball is on the ground. Gonzaga recovers.
Up.
I did not hear a whistle.
I didn't hear a whistle either.
That ball looked like it was laying there. Unfortunate result for the Stags as Malachi Anthony gets hit and the ball comes loose. The call on the field is a recovery. Gonzaga will take over.
The big swing early in the game. Malachi puts the ball on the ground here. He's trying to make a big play. 3rd and long.
Looked like Gonzaga had 17 defensive backs on that play. I mean, they were just covering everyone.
I did see Cameron Thomas, number 14 for DeMatha, was open on the inside left hash.
Okay.
Had a minute, but I just don't think that Malachi felt like he had the time to look that far downfield and felt flushed out of the pocket.
Number 9, that looked like defensive end, Henry Iloanya. The recovery. There we go with the recovery. I can say recovery. You say Iloanya.
You got it. Caleb Williams in shotgun. See if Coach Travers gets aggressive here with this quarterback. That's going to be a handoff. Malcolm Terry finding daylight. They're going to mark him just shy of a first down, I believe. 2nd and short.
One like Joshua Williams on the Gonzaga side, DeMatha does not have anybody up there in the front that's stopping that inside run.
Aaron Turner in single with Harold Peters on the outside, but we're going to get a short run here. Be interested to see what they do with Aaron in single today. They're going to have to win that battle, I think.
Well, listen, Josh Wilson's historically known for lining up man-to-man, playing a little man-free, and having his guys go at it. You know, challenging the wide receivers, and that's the beauty of the game. Love watching these one-on-one contests.
Malcolm Terry, Aaron Turner, Hayden Fisher, all out to the left. Caleb changes the protection. He does the old Madden flip. He's looking to throw, and he's going to tuck it and go up underneath.
There's the pace that we talked about.
That's the play they ran over and over and over again last week, and I'm sure DeMatha took a look at the film and was definitely going to be prepared for that.
We saw that all last championship.
Every time they went empty backfield, it
ran away from the bunch.
Quarterback draw. It was a quarterback draw to Caleb.
When you have start and stop feet like Caleb Williams has, and the patience to wait for the run game to open up, watch how he sits and waits. We've talked about him being like Le'Veon Bell, but when he hits the hole, he's gone.
Justin Ennis is far wide left as you can be, and here comes a sweep. Aaron Turner made a couple moves.
He got the first down. He's really close to it.
They might call for a measurement. The referee is
spotting
it.
The man with the marker's trying to pull the chains, but that's because he's wearing purple.
The Gonzaga chain gang.
And it is. First down. First and goal.
First and goal for the
Eagles. Nope, yep, it's first and goal from the 9.
And Gonzaga loves spreading the football around, don't they? So many different guys have touched the ball. We're only halfway through the first quarter. Multiple sets, multiple formations. They throw it all at you.
Caleb with the fade to the big man, and he brings it down.
Catch.
Nate Kariski, the sophomore tight end, coming right at us here in the First Amendment Sports booth. A contested ball.
Huge.
He put his hands on it.
That's big time right there. When you can put your sophomore tight end, line him up wide, and throw him a fade, he comes down with it in a one-on-one situation.
Gonzaga scores first, you guys. That was what they had to do against this DeMatha team. Stephen Kalina coming out to add the point after. And it is 7-0 on I Street. The home team up with 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. All these fine Eagle alums coming back home for a reunion weekend, feeling pretty good at this moment in time.
Feeling pretty good about having Nate Kariski around for the next 2.5 seasons as well. I mean, what an athletic play.
What a catch. Goes up at the highest moment. Great defense, too, by DeMatha.
It really was.
It was Harold Peters, the third defensive back, just out. You know, the height advantage really worked in his favor.
I think it was number 19, right? Cole Donaldson?
Was it? Oh, okay, it was Cole Donaldson.
I mean, that's good. It's not bad defense at all. Once again, when these two teams meet, guys, what have we seen? We haven't seen kids lose plays. We've seen kids win one-on-one. I mean, this is just kids making plays. No one's making mistakes out there yet.
The ball was perfect. The coverage was perfect.
Yes.
And the catch was better.
It was just a lot of high school kids doing everything right, and one guy just brought it down.
I think we're looking at a future star here in tight end.
Yeah.
Nate Kariski. I mean, you're not supposed to look like that when you're 15, 16 years old.
No. Well, speak for yourself. We got a little bit of a pooch kick. It's going to be to the short man. Although that is not very short. Robert Jones, the 6-foot junior wide receiver. What did they fair catch that? I didn't see that.
Yeah, he put his hand up in the air. He waved it.
Okay.
Called a fair catch.
So if you fair catch it and take off running, though, that is typically a penalty.
That is a penalty. Yeah, that's right. We've seen that already in this high school season. We've seen guys make getaway motions, hands in the air, and then you gotta stand still.
Well, there's also some new fair catch rules in high school football this season. I thought it was inside the 25. He was right on the verge.
Fence. 4 wide receivers. Malachi gives it to number 2. That's what I'd do. Marshawn Lloyd I wouldn't say he stood up. He gets positive yardage. It's going to be second down.
Blake McLaughlin in on the play, wearing number 52.
These two fine WCAC quarterbacks I do these shows with, I know they sure would like to have a guy like number 2 to hand off to. You had some good ones. Both of you did, but he's special.
I mean, 4 years of varsity football for Marshawn Lloyd.
Jaden Bradley out wide to the right. Malachi Anthony is a straight run up the middle. He's got room. Just shy of first down yardage.
Malachi's going to want to put that rock away. He's going to want to tuck it in there. Ball was a little wide out there.
We got the DeMatha lineman down.
Yeah, it's Golden Achumba. We don't want this.
No, we do not. Hopefully it's just a cramp. We hope he's okay.
Looks to be in a lot of pain.
He's
with that left
a
leg.
special player, guys.
He's awesome. The Penn State commit. I mean, he takes up a lot of space. That's a big man. It's a little prayer that he pops off the turf here shortly.
Wanted to point out, we talked about Malcolm Terry going to the Naval Academy. I think we also have another one, right? Colin O'Connor, the senior DB.
Yep, that's a fact. Number 14.
Who was wearing number 14. Who's John Marshall's number from last year. I was talking to his dad this morning. He said he wore number 14 in honor of John Marshall.
Is that because you're still living in his backyard? And
well,
see him every morning when
shout
he
out
comes
to Terry and the Marshall family.
It's nice that Mr. Marshall bring Ken coffee in the morning.
Yes, well, Mr. Marshall is one heck of a guy. But that number 14 is taking on some special meaning. 2 straight Naval Academy kids coming out of Gonzaga.
Well, also don't forget Rodney Falk on the other side of the ball is an Army commit. So these Gonzaga brothers in arms are going to be together playing in an incredible rivalry. Oh, come on. That's unfortunate.
Get healthy. The size and strength and athleticism of these athletes. We talked a little bit about it last week, and we're going to be talking about it a whole lot more in the coming weeks. The manner in which these athletes don't just train, but the manner in which now at this stage of the game, everything is taken into account. Nutrition, the calisthenics, everything. But pretty much everything that goes on with these guys is top of the line.
Well, I love how you're describing this new wave football because you're correct, but your term calisthenics kind of dated you a tad bit there, sir.
Are you? What are you talking about? I forget those black and white videos.
Just pull
those
aerobic socks up and let's get started with the rest of this game here.
That's just good advice. It's going to be 3rd and short. As let's see, who is that? Darian Lewis checks in, the sophomore running back, 6'1", 225, in front of Marshawn Lloyd. It's going to be an inside handoff. Marshawn Lloyd, he's going to get to the line of scrimmage. And he does push his way forward.
Going to be close.
They're going to call it a first down. But you're right. He met contact. I don't think he had it at contact. But it's going to take more than contact to bring Marshawn Lloyd down. We've seen that.
Jamal Hines, the 6'4", 300-pound junior, comes in to replace Golden Achumba. Big number 50.
Robert Jones. Cameron Thomas, Josh Dodd, wideouts on this play. As Malachi Anthony gives it to number 2. He makes a guy miss. Good block from the wide receiver. Marshawn Lloyd has got some real estate, and he's brought down.
Whenever he breaks through like that, you think that's the home run play that Marshawn Lloyd is capable of having, but great job by Gonzaga chasing him down and saving a touchdown, as you had said, Ken and Kev, for the keys of the game. Don't let that big, X-factor play by Marshawn Lloyd play a factor here.
Yeah, this tackle could be worth 4 or 7 points here. You never know what's going to happen, but big-time play by Colin O'Connor getting there. Excellent run by the 5-star.
Good block by Robert Jones on the outside. That's another handoff to number 2. We'll be saying that all day.
2 cuts.
He's going to get out of bounds to save himself some contact with the ground for a play. I think that's pretty smart.
It's a great job by Gonzaga spreading him out. He just put a foot in the ground twice. 2 awesome cuts. Still 3 guys available outside, forcing him to get out of bounds.
He doesn't look like he should be that fast.
No.
The way he moves, it doesn't say speed, and yet no one's getting him.
No, his God-given ability is evident.
That's awesome.
C.A. Bangor in to replace. And it's nice to have a backup tailback like this guy.
Malachi looking to throw. Quick out to the left. It's DeMatha, number 14, Cameron Thomas.
That's Cameron Thomas.
Good play. They're looking for some production out of these guys. See, they spread the ball around to these 4 wide receivers, and each guy has a different turn each week.
Well, it also looks like the DeMatha offense is trying to dictate to the Gonzaga defense. They're kind of going up the middle. They're switching things up, and then they go with an outside play to wide receiver, trying to keep that Gonzaga defense on their toes and not know what they're trying to do themselves.
We saw our main man, Joe Rada, athletic director here at Gonzaga, checking up on Golden, making sure I love that. I love when these schools take care of these athletes so well. They do it every week.
I always say they put the emphasis on the first C of WCAC.
Better believe it.
And Joe's just a stud, man. A friend of all of ours, and I want to say thanks to him again. This is a handshake agreement and an awesome situation for him to put us in, allowing us to be here to call this game today.
3rd and short. We know who's going to get that ball, and he's in first down territory. DeMatha is now driving.
So CA's a junior. He's played behind a superstar
that
for a
is
few
CA.
years.
Sorry, CA.
He's a Maryland offer, UMass offer, Penn State's in on him, and next year it'll be his show. But for this year, he comes in and does a heck of a job filling in for Marshawn Lloyd, coming out to take a blow.
Just under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Play clock coming up on 15 seconds as Malachi comes back into the huddle. DeMatha driving. They can get a first down here.
Gonna have to hustle up.
7 seconds on the play clock. No real urgency. And they did not get that. They did not get it off. It seemed like the entire stadium was looking at that clock as we were from about 20 seconds.
I was. I normally can't see that far, but I saw it.
Yeah. Oh, it was. You had that feeling like you didn't see DeMatha really, pushing it. He got the call late. I don't think he's going to come all the way over for this one. They're back at the line of scrimmage quickly. 1st and 15. Going to get a few of those yards back here. It'll still be 2nd and long for DeMatha with 2.5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
And DeMatha really not having much success trying to go up the middle against this Gonzaga defense.
Now, big Joshua Williams coming off a double team, got himself a stat right there because that was a heck of a play, the line of scrimmage.
There you go. He could take that one down. I know he gets a good earful from his teammates from previous years. DeMatha student section, they got the same view we do from the opposite side of the field, trying to see if their defense can stand tall on 2nd and long. Gonzaga showing blitz. Malachi looking to throw. He's got time right in the middle of the field. What a catch. They're going to call him down. He almost got to the end zone. Work in the middle of the field with the Stags on that play.
That's how you go up and get it, Robert Jones.
2 really good plays by Robert Jones on this drive. He had the block that sprung Marshawn on the big chunk of change they got, and then, of course, there he was coming across the field on a DeMarco Helms pattern, guys. I think we saw DeMarco take a couple of those in.
Nice to see that Malachi is able to settle down a little bit and start throwing the ball down the middle of the field.
Malachi Anthony in for the tied
touchdown.
Up
DeMatha.
No flags. 7-6 until we get this extra point. We got ourselves a game.
Jamal Hines feeling really good about that touchdown right there. A little bit of a flex celebration to his team.
Daniel Hope. There you have it, guys. 7-7. Now this is going a little differently than the last time we covered these two teams.
Well, it's a great way for DeMatha to recover after the lost fumble, and Gonzaga's able to punch it in on a short field to be able to come back and punch Gonzaga right back in the mouth, get right back into this game. Sometimes in high school, it doesn't matter how good your players are. Sometimes those kind of mistakes early in the game can get things, really rolling for the other team, and DeMatha does a good job of equaling things up.
Yeah, well, nothing's easy in this conference, and we know that. And Gonzaga gets a little momentum coming off of a turnover, punches it in. Marshawn Lloyd takes it about 40, 50 yards down the left sidelines to get his team back in the mix. And listen, we talked about Marshawn. He's rushed for over 150 yards against these guys the last 2 times they've played. Good job by Con O'Connor tackling him, but a great job finishing there. Malachi Anthony with a little bit too much time, I think, down in the red zone. He was able to find his target.
That's important. I mean, anybody who has time, you and I know this as former quarterbacks, anytime you have time and be able to survey a field and step into your throw and have all your mechanics working and everything all in sync, you should be on target.
Yep. When that pocket's clean in this conference, you imagine that pitch and catch to happen.
A little muff on the catch. Gets a slow start.
Yes, they needed to blow that dead previous.
Yeah, I was wondering why they let him go.
Yeah, that's a dangerous play. You got to blow the whistle. They finally figured it out, but it took a second too long. That could have caused something.
I don't want to see anyone get hit when they don't have to, that's for sure.
Especially when the kids know the rule. And you know you played to the whistle, but when you understand the rule and see that he came out of the end zone, you tend to slow up. That's when injury happens. Blow that whistle instantly.
That's right. All right, Gonzaga's got to respond here, guys. They find themselves in a 7-7 battle. What do you got there, Kev?
Well, I was just going to say, if it comes down to coaches going at it, this could wind up in quadruple overtime as well. We've got a couple guys with over 400 victories combined. In fact, their combined record is 436, 99, and 3.
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
Caleb Williams surveys the field in front of him. 1st and 10. He's looking to run. He's going to scoot out wide. Oh, wow. A lot of space. A lot of space. He's going to make his way to the sidelines.
Exit stage 3, and I don't blame him.
No way.
Well, he's extremely effective running the ball, even in the run option, plays. But it's when he's really dangerous when things break down and he uses his legs to pick up a broken play.
First down for the Gonzaga Eagles. Someone used the joystick to save him from that hit. Quick throw.
He's so good
and
at
lots of time, lots of space. Look at this. Great move by Justin Ennis. He did the okey-doke swim move, got himself freed up outside the numbers.
I mean, I sound like a broken record, but Caleb's like a point guard back there. He steps away from center, sidearm slings it directly on the spot where the ball needs to be placed for that play to exist. Great job finishing off by Justin Ennis, but
how about Gonzaga? 2 back-to-back huge plays coming right off of that DeMatha score.
That's right.
Coming right back down with a counter punch themselves.
Right at the 20. Aaron Turner wide left. This has been a Caleb inside handoff. Okay, here we go. He let that go. About a 2-yard gainer. Gonzaga in the red zone.
Hey, going back to the coaches real quick.
Yeah.
Also, both of these head coaches are National Coaches of the Year on their resume. Bill McGregor, 2004, the NFL National Coach of the Year, and Randy Trivers, the reigning 2018 USA Today Coach of the Year. If there's one thing this conference does not lack, it's excellence at the head coaching positions.
You better believe it. Caleb calm, 15 seconds to go. 4 to go in the quarter, and they will get the last playoff. Is that Derek Akins? No, that was Joseph Hammond on the inside handoff. It's going to be 3rd and about 5 or 6, as they'll make the long walk away from us.
All in all, pretty action-packed first quarter for these guys. Gonzaga certainly feels like they got the momentum on their side, and DeMatha had a chance to, let this game get away from them early, but they were able to counterattack with that touchdown themselves. But Gonzaga right now seems like the team that's got the momentum on their side.
And the stars are acting like the stars. You see Caleb, you see Marshawn taking off down the sidelines.
I want to say thank you to Shulman Rogers for standing with us and partnering with us this season, bringing our first quarter highlights. Caleb Williams with a brilliant fade.
That's a great look at it right there.
Old Nate, number 85, in the corner of the end zone.
That's young Nate, buddy.
And then here's
going to be around a while.
A huge run. Justin Ennis shaking free, getting in an extra 15, and holding onto the ball at the end, guys, as he was approaching behind. Thank you so much again to Shulman Rogers, Mike Nakamura, Carl Proto, Aaron Blank. They represent businesses in our community and real estate. Well, I was actually going to say real estate because that's what I have had the benefit of experiencing.
Of their services.
But sports, obviously sports and entertainment, estate planning, medical malpractice, personal injury, whatever you need, business, legal-wise, give our man Mike Nakamura a call. 3rd down here for Caleb Williams. Three to go on the play clock. They get the snap off.
Malcolm Terry's just Mr. Reliable, guys. You know, they work him. He gets his 3, 4, 5 yards, and all of a sudden, boom, he takes one for 20. He doesn't fumble the ball, and he's so dependable. A guy Coach Trivers has talked about over and over again. Loves having him on the team. It's like having another coach on the field and a guy that you can trust to not give it up to the other team.
It's going to be fourth down, guys. A long 2, a short 3, depending on what you want to call this.
I'd say about 4th and 3.
This has got Caleb Williams' legs written all over it. And he's going to have to move, and they're going to bring him down.
He just went the wrong way.
What an amazing play by the DeMatha defense.
Was that Penn? On athlete, yes, it was. He's all of it. The junior can play the position.
There's a lot of guys
on that play.
A lot of guys have been able to get their hands on Caleb without bringing him down. That was not going to happen this time.
Yeah, he just busted right through the middle of that offensive line, uncharacteristic of that offensive line.
Yep.
One of the keys was to protect Caleb, and right there they did not do a very good job on 4th down. Getting a huge swing in this game again, momentum-wise, to DeMatha.
Well, they have been protecting him, T. I just think when you have great players on both sides of the ball, great plays are going to get made.
Great players are going to make great plays.
1st and 10, Malachi Anthony. Quick pass. And he's got room to operate. Cameron Thomas
again. I was talking to Coach McGregor at the beginning and before the game started. I said, what are some of the guys that maybe we haven't heard much of and you think are coming on? And he actually, first guy he talked about was number 14, Cameron Thomas, said he's doing a really good job in the passing game. And DeMatha's needed to pick up some things in that passing game as well. And Cameron Thomas has been a big part of that piece.
Big chunk to put first down on the board for DeMatha here. And there's a handoff to Marshawn Lloyd.
And you got to throw Robert Jones in there, too, I think. You know, he's made a couple great snags here on balls that have not been exactly put on the money. But when you're that size and have that catch radius, you come down with it.
Well, Josh Dodd has been their biggest receiver on the year with the most receiving touchdowns. He's going to factor in, but he's a big play guy. He's the play-action kid.
2nd and 7. Not able to get the ball out to Cameron. Going to be 3rd and long.
3rd and about 8.
Outside the 40.
We're battling a slight injury in the booth over here. We've got a paper cut over here on our man T. Strachan.
No, it's not a paper cut. It's glass. Glass went into my finger, but I'm good. I'm good.
All right, sorry. I didn't want to say paper cut in front of all these people. We got a DeMatha trainer over here for alumni purposes.
Gonzaga needs to hold him here.
Big 3rd down for the Eagles.
They're out of scoring range. Malachi looking to pass. He's under pressure, and this time Gonzaga.
Jackson Leggins, Mr. Everything. He's played a bunch of different positions for these guys, and right that time his job was sack party.
It was I don't know if you would call it a stunt or not, but he was able to get in almost untouched, and he did not get fooled by Malachi.
I know this game right now reminds Ken of an old show tune. Anything you can do, I can do better. These two teams just trading barbs right, back and forth, whether it's, if you can score a touchdown, we can score a touchdown. You get a sack on a big down, we'll get a sack on a big down.
Jalen McMurray back deep for Gonzaga. Out of bounds, ball will be marked.
I appreciate your transition from sack party to show tunes there. Right? And well done, sir.
Trying to clean it up a little bit.
Gonzaga will take over inside their own 20. 9 minutes, 42 seconds to go in the first half.
There's moms and kids watching, too.
Tie game, 7-7. Gonzaga student section asserting themselves early on here.
Stands are packed, track is packed, parking lot's full. It's a great atmosphere, typical to a DeMatha Gonzaga contest.
Caleb working away from us, joined by Derek Akins and Malcolm Terry in the backfield.
Traditional eye set.
Nate Karitsky in motion. It sounds like a timeout. Timeout
Gonzaga did not like what they saw. Don't want to make a mistake this close to your end zone either. Good call by Coach Trivers.
Always want to take opportunities like this to thank people that have been supporting us over the first year and a half of First Amendment Sports, working with the WCAC. I'm, of course, talking about guys like James Madden, Pat Judge, Chad Barnett. We really appreciate you guys. We certainly couldn't be doing this without the support of folks like that, companies like that. What else can we say? Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
There they are.
We certainly
We
say
love
thank you very much. Also getting back to starting things off on the right foot. Gonzaga's been known to have a few slow starts this year. So them going down and scoring right away was huge because listen to this, fellas. DeMatha's had 4 straight shutouts. They gave up 0 points in September, and they have outscored the last 5 opponents 162-6. I mean, this defense has been rolling.
We have said, though, too, this is their biggest test. This is DeMatha's biggest test since the beginning of the season. They've been, much better on paper than the teams that they've played in the last few weeks. Right now, they're seeing what that test is like right now with a really close game.
Caleb in shotgun. Malcolm Terry joining him in the backfield. Derek Higgins in motion. Caleb holds it, and he is going to have some company.
It was a face mask, and they got it.
But this is going to be a gainer. They might decline this penalty. Caleb
Wow,
Williams
what
turns
a
on the
block.
wheels. He's got a lot of room to run. He's got some turnaround. He's got some help downfield by Hayden Fisher.
Wow.
Caleb to the house.
That flag is a face mask. There's no doubt about it.
It sure was. And it was one of those that, the defender put his hand out and it caught him.
I'll tell you what, though, Jason Moore, defensive end for DeMatha, 6'6", 225 pounds, came right in there.
Face
He was
mask
gonna take him
confirmed.
down.
That's 6, fellas.
And
Caleb Williams directing traffic
it turned
all the
around
way
quickly
down.
for Gonzaga right there.
Here we go.
That's
There he is.
Caleb Williams /
Three Stags
Harry
gets hand on him.
Houdini.
Look, he's
Look at
kind of
this block
slow.
right here.
Le'Veon
right there,
belling it,
great
and
block.
then watch this. Bam. He just picks it up. There it is again, pointing it out to Hayden Fisher, who's got a block. He turns him around, Barry Sanders style. There's no one going to stop him.
Hey, Malcolm Terry, one of the smartest plays of the day right there.
Yep.
No penalty, right?
The new blindside rule, if he would have cleaned that guy's clock on a blindside,
It was more like a pick.
He did. He sat
just
there,
got
he
in his
took it,
way.
and he just hey, I hate to say there's laundry on the field, but they got to come back
They
here
got to
and
come
clean
back and
this
get
up.
that flag.
They don't have, the refs don't have Caleb Williams' ability to get 100 yards in that fast.
Where's
they
Matt
don't want to
Seal?
take time.
Seal the real deal. You need
What
to,
a play. I mean, are you kidding me? What have we not seen Caleb Williams do? This kid's got another year and a half of high school football to play.
Well, we said it before the show, guys. 2 home run hitters, Marshawn Lloyd and Caleb Williams. They've been taking shots, but this is the difference in the game at this point, and what a difference it is.
Caleb Williams continues to amaze me, not only because he's known to be a very good passer, but what he's done with his legs this year has been unbelievable. To have a huge, huge play like that in a game like this just goes to show how big time of a player, not just quarterback, of a player he is.
Of a football player. Right after I mentioned that DeMatha's given up 6 points in the last 5 games, and their stats.
Oh, sure.
So he's not doing that. He's not. I'm saying he's not doing that against some chumps.
No, you just admit it. It's your fault.
He's doing that against one of the best defenses in the nation.
Does he have one of those helmets where he can actually hear the? Can he hear the
The
broadcast in his helmet?
Broadcaster jinx is what just happened, everybody.
9.5 minutes to go in the first half. Eagles 14, Stags 7.
Oh man, I can't.
Steven Kalina going to get things started. I guess they tacked on the face mask to the kickoff.
Yeah, you got to on a personal foul.
It's another poocher. And this is going to be returned by the Stags. He's got some room, and he's got some long strides. DeMatha is going to start with good field position. They're going to get it outside the 30-yard line. 1st and 10, 9:15 to go in this half.
Looks like it was KJ Winston, sophomore.
All right, Marshawn,
on the return.
It's your turn. I call these guys 5 stars. I don't care what these outlets say, and everyone changes. Oh, they're now a 3-star. They're now a 4. Forget about it. We're the astronomers at this party right now. We came here to point out the stars, and if anyone on earth thinks that this quarterback and this running back aren't at the top of the list in the nation, then they're watching the wrong sport.
No doubt. South Carolina's very lucky to be having this young man committed to them right now.
Malachi under center for the Stags as they take over after taking a shot. Shot in the mouth by Caleb Williams. He's going to drop back to shotgun, and that's going to be a handoff. Marshawn Lloyd tripped up. Looks like at the line of scrimmage. Josh Williams in there.
See how hard he hits that hole And you think if you don't get that hand in there and trip him up, once he's through that first, initial wall, he could be gone.
Not a big gainer. 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9. We're under 9 to go. Malachi waits for the snap. He's going to run. He had company right away. Josh Williams is able to corral him at basically the line of scrimmage.
Trey Johnson forcing the issue, coming off the left edge. He timed that snap up perfectly and kind of set the timing of the play off a little bit. And then Big Josh in there in the mix.
Oh, the big old bear hug from Josh Williams in the middle of the field. From Malachi, appreciated that. Going to be 3rd and long for the Stags offense. A little check with me first.
Big battle between Darius Fox and Josh Williams right there on the inside. Josh Williams got the better of him in the last one. Let's see what happens.
Grant Parker on an island out wide. Looked like it was a false start by everyone except the center.
It looks like that DeMatha was trying to go for a screen there.
Okay.
Use Gonzaga's pressure against them.
And they'll go backwards here as we go under 8 minutes to go in the first half. I think that was Robert Jones out wide on Grant Parker. I know we don't see a whole lot of DeMatha pushing that necessarily, but and it looks like we're going to get it again on this play. A lot of real estate out here.
Well, Gonzaga looks like they're lining up right now, man to man.
DeMatha, once again, a little slow to line of scrimmage. There were 2 seconds on the play clock. Coach McGregor is going to take a timeout, calm things down.
This will be big stop for the Gonzaga defense if they can stop them here on 3rd and long. Looks like to be about 3rd and 12 because of the way that this momentum has been going back and forth. Right now, Gonzaga has seized it, going up 14-7 with 7 minutes and 36 seconds left in the first half. And if Gonzaga can get a big stop here, keep the momentum on their side, and then start milking that clock a little bit more, that's a game plan that I know that Travers is thinking about utilizing right now.
Well, we know it's coming down to the wire. These teams have played 15 times in the last 10 years. I asked you guys pregame what you thought. The answer would be DeMatha has won 8, Gonzaga's won 7. Obviously, they played last year to a 27-21 triple overtime victory for the Stags at DeMatha, and then, of course, the game. And this is the rematch. So we know this is going down to the wire. We're talking about 2 nationally top teams in the country. USA Today, number 19, Gonzaga. And the Max Preps, DeMatha's ranked 11. And High School Football America has them 21-22. So, we're going to be here till the final whistle.
Yes, we will. That's how we do. Malachi with the snap. He wants to throw. He's going to get flushed out to his left. There's Robert Jones on the sideline. Looks like a good catch to me.
For the first down. It is by a yard.
Wow, what a catch.
What a job by Malachi Anthony to get out of the pocket, extend the play, keep his head up.
And a good job by the wide receiver to know where that stick is on the far side.
And to go and get that ball. Robert Jones is playing some ball today.
Robert Jones definitely
DeMatha
showing
coming
up.
right at us. Malachi with the tuck and run. He's going to get to midfield. Going to bring up 2nd downs for the Stags as they are looking to play with a little pace here. See some leadership out there. Colin Mobley, number 8. Josh Dodd, the senior.
Got
number
KJ
6.
Winston getting some love in the backfield.
I don't want to get Caleb.
3rd guy that's coming there of the
Josh
day.
Mixed up. DeMatha driving.
And Luke Pettibone in on this series at the defensive tackle position. And they're going right that way. Trey Jamison, he's always around the ball. He was more of a secondary guy last year. They've got him playing a little outside linebacker. Kid's a football player. Great conversation with his dad before the game started today.
Absolutely.
Appreciate all of you guys and all the nice things you've said to us here. The people of Gonzaga, like we've said, welcome the First Amendment Sports Crew with open arms, sandwiches, anything else we needed to be comfortable.
Sandwiches. You had me at sandwiches.
Yeah.
It's going to be 3rd and short.
And one of Gonzaga's finest here, Dutch Hahn, doing the stats for us, doing a great job today, adding up all these yards. Hey, Caleb's going to put you to the test, my man.
And there's the handoff. Gonzaga.
Ooh, it's going to be real close depending on the spot. I hate
see
when
if
they
his
jog
forward
out.
progress. See if his forward progress was able to get him the first down.
They're going to call a first down here.
I was going to say, if there's anything torturous to a coach, it's watching that spot be 1 inch away and watching the ref jog the length of the line, and each step he kind of toes on the 1 inch side. It drives me crazy. Maybe because I'm a Redskin fan like you guys, and the same thing happens out there.
And it goes against us every time.
That's assuming they get close to the first down.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, we get snidered in that situation, but not here today, not the WCAC.
Today. Gray Parker, Robert Jones, all by themselves outside the numbers. Malachi and shotgun. Handoff.
Big Josh having a day today, fellas.
Well, DeMatha going with the 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
KJ Winston giving Marshawn a blow. Marshawn's back in the game.
DeMatha's trying to spread this Gonzaga defense out, going 3-by-1 or 2-by-1. One man in the backfield, trying to spread them out. Right now they're 2-by-2. Dangerous play.
You can hear the gasp. This whole place gasped as one.
Gonzaga doing a good job getting their hands up and popping that ball up in the air. Otherwise, that would have been a nice play.
Oh, yeah. Going to bring up 3rd and long.
Gonzaga desperate to get off the field on this play. Get Caleb and the crew back in there. They've gotten a little rest after that. About 130 yards of actual running. Scamper for 90.
Rodney Falk checks in on the left side of that line. Malachi moving to his left. He's showing run, and he wants to pop up and pass. He was looking at Josh Dodd, the senior wide receiver, on the sidelines.
I actually think he might have had a shot at Robert Jones down the sidelines on the fly pattern.
He might have, but a delayed corner blitz by Grant Parker forced the issue there. They didn't leave Malachi any time out on the flank to make a decision. As soon as he started scrambling this way, Grant Parker immediately forced the issue as the forced player on the strength side.
Big stop for this Gonzaga.
Great call by the Gonzaga defense on that side.
Jalen McMurray back to receive the kick. Daniel Holbrook. And there's a fair catch right away. And he hauls it inside the 20. Gonzaga will be very happy to be up 14-7, go back on offense.
Yes. I thought you were going to say, take the air out. This offense is incapable of taking the air out. Not when you got Caleb back there and this field spread like they have.
Well, I know as the coaching staff over there on the purple side is always happy to see Marshawn Lloyd go off the field. And I expect Coach Shrivers to kind of hit us with what he gave us in the first drive, work some clock, give that Gonzaga defense a little bit of rest. It's Malcolm Terry in the backfield, Aaron Turner.
This is where
offset on the right.
Having all 5 of those guys up front for this offensive line really helps. Control that line of scrimmage, control the ball.
And that line is stout, and the 4 Power 5 guys we've talked about. But Joey Traynor reminds me of the 4 seniors last year's juniors. He fits right in, and I imagine there's 5 Power 5 guys out there from what I'm looking at. And he's yet to get that offer. But the same thing that went through those 4 guys last year, that's heading for him.
There's the pitch on the ground. Malcolm Terry picks it up, and he's got daylight. And I think they're going to give him first down yardage. That was dangerous. The ball touched the ground.
Well, it had to have been a call because Malcolm Terry doesn't fumble. So it was called Malcolm fumble, scoot right.
But look at this offensive line. Once again, absolutely no DeMatha players even near him. Once he does drop the ball, he's got enough time to pick it up and the awareness to just get downfield.
Smooth sailing after he did recover the fumble.
Not bad.
Caleb Williams has got himself a 1st and 10 on the right hash. He's looking to throw, and it's batted down. If he is able to get it just 4 or 5 inches higher, Malcolm Terry's got some room to run.
Hey, batted down by number 23, and I'm telling you, he's one of the star young players in this conference. Jay-Sean Barham, 6'4", 225. Look at this guy. He's already got the body for it. Penn State, South Carolina, Florida, Nebraska. Everyone's all over him. He is a top 40 player in the nation in the sophomore class, number 2 ranked outside linebacker.
So you're saying DeMatha knows how to get him, huh? Oh, what a classy looking Aaron Turner pitch. And he's going to get a first down yardage. Caleb Williams sold it.
Yep.
The first move sold, came back for the pitch as Aaron was making his way around. He had a lot of room to operate. It's going to be first and 10. 4 minutes to go in the first half.
It's the little things at the position, the point guard stuff that Caleb is so good at, because he's got great feet, great hands,
good ball handling skills.
It's ridiculous. He's becoming a pro right in front of us at the position. I'm not talking about skipping college and heading straight to the NFL.
Sure.
Right.
This is Caleb Williams, quick hitter on the outside. Malcolm Terry unable to haul it in.
But drop that one.
But look at what the Gonzaga offense is doing. Just like we were talking about before, they're mixing it up now. They're going up the middle. Then they start spreading it out to the sides. Then they do a little reverse. Again, getting that DeMatha defense on their heels a little bit and trying to guess at what's going on.
There's no doubt. We've talked about how multiple they are. They use every inch of the football field.
Malcolm Terry and Caleb. That's a hitter out.
Nice play on the outside.
Knocked out. Harold Peters, the senior, all over that. Excellent play by number 10.
Going to be 3rd and long for Coach Trivers.
Great break on the ball. He goes right away, gets in there before the block can get him.
That's good, because that was Olu coming out. That looked like an eclipse.
Yeah, they're going to let some clock run here. They can get it under 3 minutes before they snap this ball on 3rd down. I expect them to keep the clock running to the best of their abilities, obviously, Kevin. But this has got a Caleb run written all over it. Cross his body.
Oh, my, and he drops it.
Great throw. He probably had enough room to make a play, potentially with his feet.
But Caleb getting turned around, and then as he's heading to his left, throws it back on the inside.
That's that Pat Mahomes play, guys.
I was just going to say,
you don't do that.
That's Pat Mahomes.
That's
all
Pat
day
Mahomes
long.
play.
You never teach kids that's a good thing, smart thing to do, but he relies on his arm strength to get it down there.
I was going to say, you also don't teach kids how to just strap a howitzer onto your right shoulder.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work out for Gonzaga, and they got a punt.
Stephen Kalina.
DeMatha gets a stop.
Yeah, and the clock stops, too.
Hey, Jayshon Barnum was right there. Sometimes great offense beats you, and you get lucky when someone doesn't come up with it.
Fair catch.
Good catch. Cameron Thomas. That sun, he was right on the edge of the shade. There's still a little sun out here, guys. Although it doesn't feel like it anymore. It feels like that temperature is starting to drop a little here on I Street.
How'd you guys decided to go the short sleeves today?
I think I'm wearing Kevin's jacket, too.
I was against that idea.
Sorry here, paper cut. Glass. All right, fine. It's glass.
2:44 to go in the first half. DeMatha on offense, down a touchdown. Gonzaga will get the ball. No, Gonzaga will not get the ball first.
They receive.
DeMatha will get the ball first. So this would be a nice little Bill Belichick.
Yeah, well, DeMatha has
situation.
An opportunity now to have the ball potentially back-to-back opportunities.
Right. Malachi in shotgun.
I was going to say it also gives them the ability to not force anything here as well.
Yep.
Correct.
Jackson Leggins finishing Marshawn Lloyd off.
T mentioned it. It's one little grab of that ankle.
Yep.
You can just see it.
2nd and 5, 2nd and 4. Clock rolling.
Once again, a lot of real estate out there to the left. 3 wide to the left.
Quick inside, and Cameron Thomas getting the ball first, securing it in traffic, getting a first down for DeMatha.
Good ball by Malachi,
yeah,
too.
It sure was.
Play action, run pass option. He pulls it. You got to pull that trigger real fast.
Sear red. I love this angle, guys. I love being able to see the student sections, see that gorgeous school in the background. That's what we came here for.
You're just waiting for the fourth quarter.
That's right. Inside run, number 2.
man, his burst of speed once he comes through there is amazing.
Going to bring up second and short, very short for the Stag offense. DeMatha's got him spread out. Malachi wants to throw. He's going to get flushed out to his left and back to his right before. Who is that?
Malachi's got to learn after you get changed directions at least once. Maybe it's time to throw the ball away.
Trey Jamison.
Give your team another shot.
Watch Luke Pettibone here. He had a taste of his own O-line medicine. He was held, and then he was clipped. And I think, you know what?
Timeout on the field, 3rd and long.
Well, it was about 2nd and 1.
Yeah, it sure was.
And you know, the book tells you, Kev, you've called plays before. 2nd and 1, you've got 2 downs to get 1 yard. Sometimes you want to take that shot on 2nd down.
Fun.
You want to have, look downfield, try to have that big play because you can always come back with a Marshawn Lloyd at 3rd and 1 and pick up the 1st down. But Malachi tries to make a big play even bigger once it starts to break down, and then now they're faced with a 3rd and looks about 9.5.
And when you're missing a guy like Golden Achumba, it certainly changes things in this scenario. But yeah, absolutely. It is have fun, and until there's no more time
until
to
it's
have
not fun anymore.
Throw it away.
Get rid of it.
Away. Get rid of the ball.
Malachi gets rid of it. It's 3rd and 1, but now big 3rd down and long. This Gonzaga defense.
You got to make this stop. You certainly don't want to give up points because, like we said, DeMatha does get the ball.
I think they're going to be aggressive here. They were aggressive on the last one. I think they're going to be aggressive here as well. Try to force Malachi Anthony to make a big play in the pass game.
Malachi looking to throw it out left quickly to Marshawn Lloyd.
Well, that's a numbers game type of play. You give Marshawn Lloyd out in space with some blockers in front of you, but
and stops the
Gonzaga
clock.
does a great job of pursuing the ball. And, yeah, you're right. It stops the clock. 4th down. Got to punt it away.
Got to punt it away. And, you know, we're talking about less than a minute to go in the half.
We've seen what these two teams have done in a minute.
I know.
Well, I can see
No
Bill
one's
on the
downing us
sidelines,
out.
and Bill didn't seem too thrilled
No.
about everything that just happened on that last play.
Jalen McMurray getting some work in, bringing these punts home. He stands at the 25-yard line on the right hash, waiting for this punt from Daniel Holbrook. That's going to be a roller. He's saying to get away from the ball. Math is going to down it north of the 30-yard line, call it the 35. 50 seconds to go in the first half. Purple Eagles offense at work, looking for points of any kind. We were watching them warm up.
Yes.
Their kicking game, I think they're good from about 41, 42. From either hash, we saw them making them in warm-ups.
True, with no pass rush.
With no pass rush, that's right. No, you're 100% right. But as a marker, you think if they can get the ball about 5 yards.
How about that respect for the sophomore tight end? DeMatha prides themselves on their one-on-ones.
Caleb looking to his left. He's going to put up in the air towards the sidelines, giving Justin Ennis a chance to run underneath it, but it was floated out of bounds. 44 seconds to go in the half, 2nd and 10.
Safe throw by Caleb.
Yep. Yeah, what do you guys call that when you have basically 2 with one covered up when they're covering 3 receivers?
I'm not sure what question you just asked me, so I'm just going to nod my head and watch this next play.
We'll cover that in post. I'm used to seeing Rohan underneath there. Caleb and Malcolm Terry. Here goes Caleb. He's going to tuck and run. He's going to get outside. He's going to get out of bounds. But I don't know that he gained too much yards.
Not just the speed, the feet.
Yeah.
His footwork. We talked about him last year, evading the rush backwards and to the side. It's like having a joystick, and he knew he had to get out of bounds there.
Yep. Get
to safety, and he's just able to get there and get it done so efficiently.
Trips left, Aaron Turner, Hayden Fisher, Justin Ennis. Nate Kariski on the right side. Caleb wants to throw.
Yes, he does.
He's
Look
back.
at him backing away. That's what I'm talking about right there.
And he's going to get the ball in the air, and his receiver's going to have a chance. But that was a creation. That was a choose-your-own-adventure play for Caleb Williams.
I can watch him play the position all day. How he backs up and goes backwards, sideways.
Sideways.
It's just.
Now I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well,
but I saw it with my own eyes.
It's because he's the only guy I've ever seen do it.
Are you two in the same booth watching the same thing?
That was amazing. That was probably the least amount of arm we've seen him get on a ball, and yet it was still a safe pass.
Right, because he had another human being hanging on the other arm.
Stephen Kalina looking to punt. Cameron Thomas looking for a short one. And it is a short punt, but Gonzaga's going to watch it roll out of bounds, trickle out of bounds.
18 seconds, though, in the second quarter till halftime. And that ball is just about at the
40-ish.
Couple plays gets you over half field, and you either have a shot to throw the ball in the end zone or possibly get close enough for a field goal. DeMatha has a chance to get points on the board here.
And that reminds me, in watching the game last night, in high school football, pass interference is a 15-yard penalty. It is not an automatic first down. You don't do it at the spot. You do not put it at the spot of the foul. So it could be a 50-yard bomb. Pass interference would happen. It would go back to the line of scrimmage, and 15 yards would be marked off.
So take the penalty.
So you don't have that. You don't have that advantage.
Malachi wants to throw, and he's able to get it underneath. DeMatha is going to be tackled in bounds.
It looked like a double clutch screen right there.
It was the double pump.
And they do take a timeout. For a second, I thought they were going to be.
You got to take timeout. Now you only got 6 seconds. Now you got one shot at the end zone.
I tell you what, guys, tell me I'm wrong, but it seems like in the passing game, DeMatha has had some guys open in the middle of the field.
They
wanted to work
Well,
it.
they had the one pass that got them down to the goal line that led to the touchdown, and that was the one completion. He's had a few guys open downfield, but to Anthony's credit, he's also got some guys that are breathing down his neck. So, the further downfield you're looking, the more time you need in the pocket. He's just not getting that time to step in and throw. But I have a feeling that at some point in this game, DeMatha is going to have to make a big play in the passing game. The opportunities are there. They're slim, but they are there. They're going to have to try and get one here because I think it's a pass in the end zone at the end of the half here to see if they can't just get something on the board.
Seen a play similar to that.
I was going to say, are we 53 yards out?
we roughly
paybacks would be hell here.
53 yards out.
It looks like 54.
I know what they're calling. I know what they're calling. Now, if McGregor has a 4-second out for 11 yards, that would be amazing. But this one's got to go to the end zone. He's got time. Malachi's got time. He's being flushed. He's going to have to run it, and he's going to be brought down. That will be the end of the first half.
Oh, and the ref took it right where it hurts.
He is taking like a man.
It's okay. He got up.
Doing all
he got up.
He's
good.
He's
good.
He's
okay.
Yeah, no, you saw.
But once again, Malachi's got to let that ball go. Give your team a shot. Give him some sort of chance. Throw that ball down in the end zone. You got nothing to lose at the halftime here. Even if they intercept it, they got to go an entire field in order to get points themselves. So just didn't give your team a chance.
We're going to go to halftime. Gonzaga Purple Eagles, the home team, up 14-7 over the DeMatha Stags. Here are your second quarter highlights brought to you by Shulman Rogers. Mike, Carl, and Aaron, we thank you. Let's see, guys. This play went a long way. Right in front of us. Caleb Williams barking orders.
The block by Malcolm Terry. He doesn't
how calm he
crush him.
Too.
He just
Look
gets in the way. Yes, and then he puts the Jets on.
I
what
love
a play
the
by
double
Malcolm
tap
Terry.
on the point out. I'll see him direct traffic
and
all day. Jets.
And then it's over. And he looks so smooth running, you don't realize how fast he is.
That's right. It's so much fun to see. Thank you guys so much at Shulman and Rogers. That was your second quarter highlight. That's going to be a highlight of the week for a lot of these teams. DeMatha is going to take it in.
Jorts.
Regroup. We got a Jort sighting?
Yeah, there's some Jorts on number 19.
Jorts and Crocs. DeMatha's student section out strong today. We will be back the beginning of the second half from I Street. Till then, See you back. And welcome back to I Street. I want to say thank you again to all of you guys checking out this battle of number 1 and number 4 in the city. It's Gonzaga, host DeMatha, here on a lovely, lovely day in the WCAC. Before we get started with this second half, Kevin, I wanted to talk a little bit about some action we saw last night as the St. John's Cadets played against the Good Counsel
Are you just
Falcons.
talking to Kevin right now?
What?
Well, I wanted
a
to.
game.
I thought, he might be a little excited about that one.
It was ridiculous. I'm still not sure. St. John's came out on top. I know they had about 500 yards of offense and 5 touchdowns, but that Good Counsel defense was vicious. It was nasty. They were incredible. Hey, Sol J played hard. He took a million hits. He had to come out. Wyatt Hagan goes in, and that sophomore just played with all guts and courage. It was fantastic. Rakim Jarrett stole the show.
Unbelievable.
He was the guy that won the game.
Kind of been waiting for that.
And we have, and he did it last night. He was so ridiculous, but guys like Tyzay Johnson and Kenwan Manuel come in and play offensive line in the fourth quarter, along with the sophomore. The two of them hadn't played one snap at offensive line this year, and the quarterback, obviously Wyatt Hagan, hadn't played before. He couldn't have been better. He made some throws. He made some seam route throws. When you got Rakim Jarrett,
oh yeah,
it's a fun guy to rely on, and in the post game, the way the quarterbacks acted towards each other, the kids all rallied around and believed in Wyatt Hagan, and St. John's came out of there with a big W for the Cadets. Good Counsel was awesome. I mean, Chris Jenkins,
Melton.
Mitchell Melton.
Are you kidding me?
Mitchell Melton and Chris Jenkins? Two. I mean, Sol J and Wyatt are going to have nightmares of those two coming after them for weeks to come.
Real fast, hanging out here with the Gonzaga Fathers and the Touchdown Club. It dawned on me that people are paying attention on Tuesday nights because I had someone come up. Tim Reddy, if you're out there, my friend, people are going to be waiting for your call. But that's great. So Tim is great. His fandom of the council is great. He's making a mark because these Gonzaga dads are like, hey, can't wait for Tuesday. Can't wait for Tuesday.
Please don't take it personal.
We're
up here just talking some stuff about some football. And we love doing it.
All
listen,
smiles,
we're dividing people at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Here we
Gonzaga
go.
to kick. James Miller.
DeMatha's got to get a fast start here in the second half, even things up.
New kicker for the Eagles, and he's going to put some air underneath it, and that's going to be a touchback. And he's psyched at midfield. How about some stats, Kevin?
Well, courtesy of our premier statistician, Dutch Hahn, Gonzaga freshman. We've got Malachi Anthony, 8 for 12 for 66 yards. He has 8 carries for 24 yards rushing and a touchdown. You got Cameron Thomas, 4 receptions for 40 yards, and Robert Jones, 3 for 22. And the big man, 11 carries, 96 yards for Marshawn Lloyd. He's got a reception for 4 as well, so 100 all-purpose yards. Coming out of the half of the DeMatha offense, and we'll get to Gonzaga when they get around to getting the rock.
Yeah. 1st and 10, Stags going to work here on I Street. We hear it from the Gonzaga student section. They're going to keep it on the ground. We got a gainer. It's going to bring up 2nd down. Malachi looking over to Coach McGregor and his staff. I know, T, you talk about the broadcast jinx, but it bears mentioning a pretty clean game. Not a lot of yellow on the field, which is a joy, an absolute joy to watch.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It has been a clean game. There hasn't been any big penalties that have, swung the momentum or changed any situations or circumstances. And DeMatha's got a big 2nd down and 8 here.
Very clean besides some of our back and forth.
Malachi handing it off, and they got room to run. It's going to be a 1st down gain. Marshawn Lloyd picks up right where he left off. You can't give a guy like that a sight like that. He ran through that hole hard.
Next level footwork within the hole to get through that little crease.
Yep.
Watching him get his body squared.
And once again, the tackle, just an ankle tackle, right? He's an ankle, shoelace, foot clip away from one of those big runs.
See that little cut to get through that seam? And that was a great block.
Shout out to Quentin Mayo for the
big
ankle
number
bully.
52, Dwayne Alec Jr. heading to Boston College.
Grant Parker standing up Marshawn Lloyd, putting the ball on the dirt, although it's not really dirt here on I Street.
On the rubber?
On the rubber. Ball bounces out of bounds. It's going to bring up 2nd and long for the Stags offense.
Gonzaga's been getting excellent production from 57, Josh Williams. I'm watching guys like Blake McLaughlin, the junior linebacker, getting some of his second week of WCAC play, be a factor. Trey Jamison, Kai Holmes, and the corners, Grant Parker and Jen McMurray, for the best part, have done a great job.
Oh, wow, I'll tell you what. There was a lot of studliness.
Joshua Williams once again on that one. That's why he's a player to watch.
Yep.
For Gonzaga. Man, he really is a space eater in there.
Those are tough tackles.
DeMatha, 3rd and about 11. They're going to have to go to the air here again. See if they can't find success in the middle of the field. Looks like they're going to go 2 to the left, 1 right, the tight end.
Grant Parker on Josh Dodd. Malachi moving to his right, and he is brought down. I don't know if that ball came loose.
Ball on the ground. It might be down.
They threw a marker. Now
it's fourth down.
It's going to bring up a punting situation for DeMatha. Malachi under pressure. Escaped initially.
Well, Malachi, again, once again, he's got to realize, one, you got to give your team a shot. You got guys downfield, throw it down there. If it gets picked off, it's no different than a punt.
That's right.
There was excellent coverage. That's a fact.
Good-looking defensive start for Gonzaga. Coach McGregor will go back to work on his offense here. It's Jalen Murray standing at his own 35 on the left hash, waiting for the punt. Like a little bit extra here. There's a fair catch. And he gets up into traffic to make it. He doesn't want that ball bouncing. It looked like one of those punts that could have bounced about 30 yards our way.
I tell you, the punters forgot their driver in their golf bag because we've been seeing a lot of lob wedges get caught up into the air today.
Terry McMurray, he's got to be careful. That second time, he's kind of had a diving catch. You know,
Jalen,
the diving catch at the end of the punt return. And you got to be careful about that.
We'll get to some Gonzaga stats here after 1st and 10. As Caleb is now back to work for the Purple Eagles. Nate Kariski moves out to the left. Derek Akins just taking their time, and they have plenty of it. Game clock at 5. Play clock at 5. Malcolm Terry scoots to the outside.
Malcolm Terry had 7 rushes in the first half for 29 yards. Caleb as well, 4 rushes, 105 yards in that 80-yard touchdown.
That's a pretty good average.
Yeah, decent. Justin Enos with 1 big play for 47 yards. We know big Nate Kariski, 2 catches for 15 and a touchdown. Kid was 5 for 12 for 78 yards and a touchdown. Excellent job, Dutch.
All right, Dutch. Coming up on 15 on the play clock as the call comes in from the Gonzaga sideline. Hayden Fisher all by himself for the Gonzaga offense. And one-on-one, that's a whole different game over here they got.
That's an island.
Here comes Caleb coming that way, and he's going to get some good blocking from Hayden.
Caleb did a great job once again with the ball handling there. Good job of pulling it and sucking a Keziah Izzard in enough where he could use his speed to capture that end.
How about the pursuit there by Hezekiah Faison? Hezekiah Faison showing some wheels there to make sure that Caleb got no more yards.
Maybe a little bit like his father, Hezekiah Sr. Had some wheels back in his day.
There's Gonzaga and island left again.
Yeah, I mean,
Aaron Turner is a mile away. He's
that's a split.
He's in Northeast.
And Caleb can get the ball there in a hurry if they want, or he can run that way. But that's going to be an inside handoff. Malcolm Terry up the middle, short gainer. It's going to bring up 2nd down. Gonzaga inside the 30-yard line as they're driving with 8.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
There's some big boys wearing down some other big boys. We're going to see who's still standing here with a few minutes left in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and we've seen this is a game Gonzaga wants to play because they think that in the 4th quarter they're not going to be worn down.
As does DeMatha.
You better believe it. You better believe it. A little bit more of a compact formation for the Eagles. Aaron Turner inside the hash.
Shift in the formation.
And there's the handoff. Malcolm Terry.
Jay Sean Barnum. I mean,
he's a good-looking athlete, man.
Wow.
He can cover a lot of ground. Like you said, Kev, he's got an interesting frame on him. It looks like he can bang it up inside in the middle with all the big guys, but he can also cover on the outside. He's got speed.
There's Joey Trainer getting out and about, getting after it.
His dad, a proud alum of Bishop McNamara.
There you go.
There you go. Hanging out with him before the game, talking about his son. He's played a fine game so far. Looks like I got a little movement on the right side of the offensive line, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they may get Keziah Izzard.
Okay, did he come across?
Encroachment came across the line of scrimmage.
Okay.
Keziah Izzard's been somewhat quiet here in this game. We haven't said his name much.
Well, Olu and Patrick, no, they've been known.
Clock moving. Gonzaga up a touchdown. 3rd and very short in DeMatha territory. Malcolm Terry, Caleb Williams looking for the snap. Caleb wants to tuck and run.
Oh, what a cut.
And
he's
going to scoot right on the outside. He looked like he could have been tackled 4 times, and then all of a sudden he came free.
The move he just made on Jay Sean. Now you see me, now you don't.
He went into a
Watch
pile.
this cut. It was right before that, but number 23 had him in his grasp.
Wow. What a move.
Wow.
What a player. What a weapon. And they're right back at it. Quick snap.
Into the shadows, Malcolm Terry. Looks like he's a little short.
He keeps it alive, but he is short.
I'll tell you what, though, if
Second and
Gonzaga
goal.
can get this touchdown, that is a huge cushion of a lead.
Is that a little bit of a DeMatha broadcaster jinx there, T? You try to.
No, I'm trying to jinx the Gonzaga.
I know what you're
trying to
doing.
reverse psychology here.
We're about halfway through the 3rd quarter. DeMatha knocking on the door, already up a touchdown. It's Caleb Williams trying to guide the Eagles in for the 3rd score of the game. And they line up in there.
Yeah, good push.
You got to believe, I think he crossed the line there. I'm going to call it from 117 yards away. But
touchdown.
Yes. Listen to the faithful appreciating that score. Gonzaga up 3 touchdowns, waiting on the point after. And they love it here on I Street. There's a Nationals jersey in there.
I believe I'm.
Look at this push right there by that
great.
offensive line.
Good job.
Good surge. Extra point is good.
I hate having to bring up bad news, but we got Golden Achumba walking right in front of us, and his leg and a stabilizer on 2 crutches. We'll say a prayer for him and hope for a speedy recovery.
Yep.
Trying to make his way back down to the sidelines to be with his teammates. As Gonzaga takes a 21-7 lead. We'll get that fixed there for you in a moment. Bang.
They don't call it automatic sports the best in the business. We certainly do appreciate working with Luke and Vic.
Absolutely. Class acts all around.
Yep.
Appreciate your hard work, fellas.
Hey, they know a thing or two about covering big games with these 2 schools involved, that's for sure.
And here you go.
Providing game
how about this, guys? You got Olu Fashanu's father, whose son is heading to Penn State to be Golden Achumba's teammate next fall at Penn State, helping big Golden come down to the sidelines to be with his brothers. They'll be family for years. That's what this league's all about right there.
I love it.
I got a lot of respect for that right there. That's an incredible sight. Wow.
The Gonzaga dad with a Gonzaga shirt helping out the DeMatha player. That's great.
Who will be his son's teammate for the next 4 years. That's pretty special.
James Miller, 2nd straight touchback, and he loves it, number 45, coming off the field here.
All right, this is must-do something time for DeMatha right here if they want to get back into this game. 2-touchdown lead for Gonzaga. DeMatha's got to have some sort of answer. That last drive by Gonzaga's offense just seemed so at the office.
Yeah.
I mean, it was very professional. There was no, didn't seem to be any like rushing or anything like that. It was just cool, calm, and collected.
And if you're looking for an answer, it's from the man with 17 WCAC titles. Bill McGregor. He's going to be patient. He's not going to get away from what they do the best.
Well, 5:52 in the third quarter. Still a lot of football left to play, so it's not time to panic.
DeMatha giving us a little bit of a different look here, guys.
No,
Coach McGregor reaching into his bag of tricks.
We got a twins, if that's what you're talking about. We got twins left
there
here.
You go.
Twins
there you
right
go.
They still got 11 personnel in there.
That's true.
I thought I saw him send someone else out under center. We do have a new quarterback.
Yes.
For Gonzaga, and he
is
able to
for
find Josh
Cam
Dodd.
Edge?
Yeah.
Cam Edge, the freshman.
What a great football name. And this is a freshman with a big body and a big arm.
I have to be honest, a lot of people have been asking when Cam Edge is going to get a little bit more time because he is a pure pocket passer. He does allow this DeMatha offense to be a little bit more dynamic, especially when you're down 2 touchdowns and need to move the ball with.
Quick throw on the inside.
Ooh.
It goes off the knee. Looked like Cameron Thomas.
Right off his gut. I don't think Cam Edge could have put that ball in a better place.
And Josh Dodd's happy. That's his first reception of the game. He's tapping the freshman on the helmet saying, way to be, buddy.
Look at that right there. Cameron definitely needs
I've been
to come up with that catch.
with Josh Dodd, the senior wide receiver. All game long, he's been a leader on the field, and you've seen it. He's guiding his teammates and telling them what to do. After those delayed game situations, I think he's taken upon himself to be the guy. And certainly with a freshman quarterback, he's going to have to be the guy with Grant Parker lined up across him now. There's the handoff.
KJ Winston.
Just nothing right there in the middle. DeMatha keeps trying to keep Gonzaga's defense, honest and keeps trying to go up the middle, but then that keeps forcing these 3rd and long situations.
Well, Kai Holmes is a player. He's a guy that came on strong at the end of last year, and he was fantastic in that championship game. He was making plays all over the place. Look for big things out of him. Number one's been coming in. They got him flying off the edge in blitz. He's in pass coverage, and he's stout against the run.
3rd and 10, though, not the situation you want your freshman quarterback to be in.
Came in the shotgun. He wants to throw.
Here it comes.
Again, middle of the field. That's first down. Cameron Thomas.
That is first down.
Hit right away, dropped right away. 10 3/4 yards. Good enough for a first down for DeMatha. And a little bit of a spark. Coach McGregor putting the passing game in the freshman's hands.
You definitely don't want to be a wide receiver and have to go back and tell a quarterback you dropped it twice. So
That's right.
Cameron Thomas just made sure he held on to that one.
Were you not very forgiving, T?
Apparently, according to my tight end standing right next to me, I used to get on him a little bit.
Lots of traffic on the quick hitter out to the right side.
That wasn't.
A lot of Gonzaga defenders made their way to that ball pretty fast, Kevin.
That looked like the old monkey roll drill. Remember everyone jump in and roll, jump in and roll? I think it's been outlawed, but that was excellent defense. You got 6 or 7 hats to the ball. Nothing doing in the flats for DeMatha.
Cold chill starting to settle in down here in D.C.
3.5 minutes to go in the third. DeMatha down 2, but they are driving. Little life. New quarterback. Same number 2 in that backfield. He's going to have to be a factor here at some point.
That's forward progress at its finest on that spot.
Cam looking to throw down the seam, and he's got
a ball.
Is that Josh Dodd? I think that is Josh Dodd.
That was talking about putting the ball. Josh Dodd.
Yes,
you're talking about putting the ball in the money, freshman.
What a throw.
All it was a simple seam. It was a little play action, simple seam, a beautiful, perfect thrown ball.
Again, I've been watching this guy all game.
There.
He wants to be the guy.
Looks like Josh Dodd just needed a little edge to get back on top of things.
Just
see what you did with that?
Hey,
a little edge. We'll be here all day.
Or I should just leave now.
How about the freshman, though?
What
How about the freshman
yes.
coming in here and getting this team back in it?
DeMatha looking to get the point after to bring them within 7. And it's good. Coming right at us. 21-14. DeMatha with some life. Gonzaga. They didn't face that the whole first half. It was a whole different offense they were looking at.
It just spreads DeMatha's offense out a little bit, allows them to be a little bit more dynamic and throw the ball downfield. Something you need when you're down 2 touchdowns, you got to get back in it.
When a freshman quarterback comes in and shows that type of leadership and poise, it's contagious, and that sidelines is now feeling a whole lot different than it was.
It gives you a little pep.
21-14.
Yeah.
Excellent call by the 17-time WCAC champion, Bill McGregor, switching it up. Good eyes seeing it. I can't see that far, but Cam Edge can certainly see the field just fine because he came out there flinging it.
You were a freshman quarterback in this league.
I was.
He was?
I was. I didn't exactly have a body or arm like old Cam Edge, but
well, I don't know Cam's numbers are spread pretty far across that abdomen. I'm guessing.
But I'll tell you what he did have, Ken. Kev had the ability to get his team behind him.
Oh yeah.
You know, a captain on the field, and that's what you do when you're a young guy. If you got to fit in and you got to get everybody behind you. You just go in there, you just perform.
Malcolm Terry and Aaron Turner waiting for this kick.
Everybody will make plays for you.
Well, I appreciate that, T. You're getting me emotional over here on reunion weekend.
Well, give me. Here comes Casey O'Neal crossing the back end zone. This ball will be fielded by Aaron Turner. He's across the 20. He's got a seam.
Oh, it opened up for a second?
Yeah.
Then the door was slammed shut.
Moses said,
says so easy for us to say up here on a balcony,
Well, there's just enough sun that comes through that when that crease opened, it seemed like the heavens were opening, and then they closed pretty fast. Gonzaga offense will take over about the 27-yard line.
Got to remember, though, the last drive by Gonzaga was a fairly easy drive for them. It was methodical. It was calculated. They were never put in a bad situation. DeMatha's got to do something here on defense to slow down this
Joe Hammond
offense and Caleb Williams.
Joe Hammond in the backfield with Caleb Williams. 3 wide to the left. Hayden Fisher on the right side. Hayden Fisher been
Conrad Singh dramatically sending in the signals.
Dramatically. Interpretive signaling. Is he a lifeguard? That's the inside handoff. Joe Hammond.
There he is. Gonzaga Izzard.
There you go.
That's a name that we got to start saying if they want to get back into this bad boy, but it's not. That's not good.
We hope he's okay. Shake that off. The 6'4", 270-pound defensive end.
Penn State.
Well, he just gets replaced by Jason Moore, defensive end, 6'6", 255, freshman.
Oh.
That kid looks pretty good.
Well, it's maybe a story about the DeMatha freshman on both sides of the ball right now.
Yep. Caleb surveys, 2nd and long. Greg Penn looked like he would have come up that middle. There's the inside throw, little behind the receiver. He had him coming across.
This is a huge down in the landscape of this game.
Yeah, this could swing things in DeMatha's favor. They can get a stop here, but it could also just make this crowd erupt if they can get a first down.
There was a big-time bull rush by number 8, Colin Mobley, a name we haven't said a ton, 6'4", 270. He's getting recruited by pretty much the Eastern Seaboard. If you have a college that plays football, they're in on him. He just bull rushed Big Olu on the inside and caused a little bit of the pocket to collapse, forcing that throw to be a little bit off schedule.
Yeah, he's a good-looking football player. The junior end. Caleb wants to throw. He's got time. That is a zipper all the way outside there.
Oh,
Justin Ennis.
All by himself, Justin Ennis, just sitting there.
Nobody
around him at all.
Watch the protection by Olu for Shanu on that play. Keeping the pocket clean. There was no one around him. A bit of a blown coverage there, but you can't give Caleb that kind of time to find guys wide open.
Nope.
No, we talked about it earlier. Anybody who has that much time is going to be able to do it, much less a guy like Caleb.
Timeout on the field. Got an injured player for DeMatha. We certainly hope he's okay. I want to take a second to thank some people. We got some new sponsors this week, guys. I think this is a good time to throw a shout out to our friends, Chris and Christy Scango at Capital Hardscapes. They're a locally owned, family-run company, Chris and Christy, husband and wife team. Chris's brother Johnny since 2003. They're the guys who install those amazing outdoor kitchens, outdoor grill islands, the fireplaces and fire pits, stone patios, stone walkways that are the envy of all of our neighborhoods. If someone's got a pimped-out patio, first of all, the Scangos, I'm sure, had a hand in it. And if you want one, give them a look, give them a call. They have been proudly serving the WCAC community for almost 20 years.
You are not going to find nicer people out there in the business world or anywhere else. Chris and Christy, thank you very much for partnering up. Appreciate your support.
Gonzaga 1st and 10. Midfield on the drive. Caleb working to his right. He does not have a right to go in. He does get the ball off.
Oh, my goodness.
He was in the process of being tackled. He has some things to say about it. He turns around and talks to our man, Penn.
He looks like he goes to what's becoming somewhat of a security blanket. And Nate Kariski
coming out
An
party.
eligible receiver downfield for
Okay.
the Eagles.
And there's one of those penalties, gentlemen. We said this was a clean game. That's one of the first penalties that's really had a big effect on a play.
Greg Penn is one of the very few people that hasn't been eluded by Caleb, but Caleb bought himself some time, finding big Nate Kariski. That was a huge momentum builder. I think there was a bit of a conversation between the
Caleb's quite
middle linebacker and the quarterback.
Caleb's quite accurate of quarterback when he's got human beings hanging off body parts.
First and long. Joe Hammond in the backfield, but it's going to be an end around. He gets corralled.
Is
that the freshman?
That's the freshman,
That's
Jason
the
Moore.
freshman, making his
Look at that
presence felt.
wingspan. He was able to get that hand on the jersey and bring him down.
And he got the outside of the jersey. This year, there's a big focus on grabbing the back of the jersey and having the horse collar rule at the high school level. It's been a big point of emphasis. The young freshman did a great job getting it on the outside of the shoulder and dragging him down. That's a body right there.
Minute to go in the third. Gonzaga down, a touchdown, and second and long. Caleb on the hard count. 10 seconds on the play clock as the play comes in from the sidelines. And it's going to be a handoff to Joe Hammond, who sneaks through some tackles, guys.
That was a hard run right there by Hammond.
Fighting for extra yards.
Get some yards after contact.
Third and manageable.
That is a running back built to play about a foot off the field and make you earn that tackle. Timeout on the field with 30 seconds to go in the third quarter.
DeMatha takes a timeout.
They need to catch their breath to deal with this 3 yards that this Gonzaga offensive line. This is why they're here. This is what they do.
Yeah, you don't want to turn this ball over at this point in the game with DeMatha feeling as good as they must after that last offensive drive. It's good to you know what, I was just thinking about this, T. It's good to see. We saw it on TV when they were out west. It's just good to see Coach McGregor patrolling the sidelines again. It's just fun.
It really is. You know, it was sad to see him go for a while, but you know, he just got that itch. He said, you know, once you're a coach, you just can't really fully get away from it. Yes, he went up to Baltimore and coached some running backs, but he wanted to do it again, being the head guy, and no better place than to come back to the place that you had spent your prior 44 years. And this still was his program. Elijah did a fantastic job of taking it over, winning a few championships himself for the last 5 years. But Bill just wanted to get back in it, and the opportunity was there when Elijah took the job at Maryland, and they're so lucky to have him back.
283, 41, and 3 is his record at DeMatha in his 30th year as the head coach. Are you joking?
I own 3 of those losses. I'm sorry, Bill.
Third and short. Caleb going to work. He's going to tuck right away.
The patience.
And he
the
makes
cut.
the move up. He finds it. He finds it. I mean, you say patience. I mean, in spades, the guy waited and waited and waited. Got exactly what he needed.
His footwork in space cannot be taught and cannot be topped.
No, he wouldn't have been tackled in a touch game. He would have gotten a first down in a two-hand touch game on that play.
It's bizarre.
And I think Coach Travers is going to let this go to the fourth quarter.
This is Ken's favorite part of
I see both of you staring over there like you're visitation sophomores.
I'm looking at Pat Judge.
I'm looking at Ken.
Wherever you are, Pat Judge, I know it's about to happen. Here on I Street, they do it their way. Coach Travers is happy to have this 7-point lead going into the fourth quarter.
Absolutely.
And have the ball with a chance to increase it.
This offense just calm, cool, and collective right now. Methodically moving that ball down the field, eating up a lot of time, winning the time of possession right now.
Waiting for the call. I think they're going to make it.
Okay.
It's chilly. It's cold.
It's going to be a lot colder before this season is out. Maybe the freshman first. Always the freshman first. as the Gonzaga offense takes the field. And there you go.
Well, it's been a long time since a lot of them been to the beach.
I'm not looking. I'm staring straight ahead.
Kids.
Caleb Williams takes the snap. He wants to send it out to his right side. He comes back, looks to his left. This one's going to go out of bounds. I'm assuming he was outside the tackles. Of course, that's an NFL rule.
But still, an excellent assumption.
Safe throw. 2nd and 10 at the 35.
Same exact officiating crew from last night's Good Counsel St. John's game. Did we notice that earlier?
I didn't want to say because I was.
Crew,
no,
man.
they did a good job.
They did a good job. It looked like it to me too, Kev. I just wasn't sure about that.
And then again, I think Stefanelli may beg dib for about a call or two at the end, but.
And I think St. John's might be worried about a few holds that weren't called, but you know.
Well, that happens in every game.
Gonzaga using less of the field than they have throughout the game.
Wow, that was close on the snap.
Inside handoff, Joe Hammond. Once again, I say he's sneaking through tackles. He's plowing through the line.
It looks like they found a guy to help out Malcolm Terry.
Yep.
Take the burden, the load. 27 carries last week. Coming in today, rushing for as many times as he did in the first half. Young sophomore looks good.
And we do know we're a second and a half ahead. That is a YouTube problem. Don't want to act like we don't know, but we do know. And look at this, Kevin. Hayden Fisher way out on the numbers. This is
yeah. And
Caleb likes to run.
And Ken Marlin going with the it's not me, it's YouTube.
That's right. It's not me.
But that's YouTube. A fact. We have a YouTube issue. Sorry about being 1 second ahead. Hopefully it's not driving you nuts.
Here comes Caleb. He's dancing up the middle.
Pretty good job by DeMatha, but I think he got it.
He got close.
Yeah, I think he got it.
They said move the chains.
Move the chains. It's going to be a first down at the 25-yard line for the Gonzaga Purple Eagles.
And I think that puts them, I think they need probably about 5 more yards to be within field goal range.
Well, they're about there, T. He was kicking
I think
them.
It's about 5 more. He's kicking them about 40 yards.
He's good from 40. You're right. He's good from 40. They'll feel comfortable and safe there. 10.5 to go in the fourth quarter. Caleb under center. Hands it off.
Greg Penn. The
Still
speed, the athleticism of an inside linebacker that age.
And I'm happy to report, as you can see with your eyes, Kozai is back in there. It looks like he's nursing a little something, but he's not too hurt to play in this one, that's for sure.
Interesting to see Jay Sean Barnum coming off the field. I didn't think he ever had to come off the field.
Caleb too wide.
Correct me if I'm wrong, gentlemen, but
here comes another penalty,
DeMatha, Gonzaga has not turned the ball over this game today.
No, and they're beneficiaries of the only turnover, right?
They've done a good job of securing that ball.
I'm proud to report Quentin Mayo has fixed the YouTube issue. Quentin, you are the man. He is our social media.
Quentin, appreciate you, my man.
But we no longer look like we're
like we can see the future.
Tellers. Yeah, we can see the future.
Don't tell me what's about to happen.
Look at the left tackle right now. Look at Olu Fashanu. It looks like we're watching a game being played on Sundays.
Yeah, is he? Are we seeing that future?
He's a gigantic man.
Caleb Williams working right at us here in the end zone. Handoff. Joe Hammond fighting his way inside the 10-yard line. I'll tell you what, like I said, he plays so close to the ground.
Well, he gets right up in there. He gets right up in there in the line, and you can't find him. And then he's shifty. He finds a way. Look, he gets up in there, and then he shifts to the right.
He's comfortable after contact.
1st and goal.
Caleb Williams going to let him have it again, this time right at Keziah, and that ain't happening.
For all the old school Redskin heads, he's got a bit of a Joe Morris feel to him. He has that low center of gravity. Maybe not the most explosive, fastest guy, but he gets in there with his quick feet, and he's delivering the blow. He's not accepting it.
Malcolm Terry is going to check him out of the game. Malcolm in, Joe out. As Justin Ennis is going to come wide.
Keep an eye on Kuriski, too.
I was going to say this is Nate Kuriski territory, but he's staying inside on this one. Caleb Williams is going to hand it off. Aaron Turner, he's
What
working.
speed. Wow.
Saeed Myers,
Saeed Myers.
the senior DB.
I mean, he turned on the Jets right in front of our face.
He sure did. It was a good play. Gonzaga's going to set up on the hash right on the 3-yard line. 3rd and goal coming at us. 8 minutes, 15 seconds to go in this game. Gonzaga up a touchdown. They are looking to extend their lead. I think it's the defensive call.
You got Nasty Nate wide out left, all by himself, locked up in a one-on-one situation with Saeed Myers. Keep an eye on this.
How have we not said Saeed's name? He is also a very good-looking football player out here on the wide right for DeMatha. Short side fade, guys? No, it's going to be a Caleb keeper, and he will not get it.
No, he's bottled up. Up the middle has not had a whole lot of success for them either, other than Hammond here in the second half.
What's the call here, guys? It's on the hash.
Looks like they're going to go for it. I don't know. I'd put 3 points on the board, to be honest with you.
A 10-point lead with 7.5 seems like a good deal.
And that's it seems like the no-brainer.
They might take their 20
this is
seconds.
one of those things that
Yeah,
if you do go for it and you win it, everybody thinks you're a genius. If you go for it and you don't,
this says timeout at the buzzer.
Well, no one out there listening thinks we're geniuses, so let's just say whatever we want.
Caleb will line up. We got 7 to go. 5 on the play clock, and his hard count is successful. That I don't think there was any intention to snap that. And is it an automatic first down?
No,
it's not.
Not at all. It's fourth down.
No,
half the distance. 4th down. Meltion Davis didn't hurt him that bad. It's a 1-yard penalty. It's going to force them into thinking about this a little bit harder.
The clock runs though. Another 20 seconds. I don't think Coach Trivers had any intention of snapping that, and I'm not convinced he does here either. He will take his seconds gladly.
You hate to say the young man's name after a penalty, but Meltion Davis has been a great player on the defensive side of the ball for the DeMatha Stags. A Robert Morris commit and an excellent player in this league. Here's the timeout we're talking about.
Coach will think about it. You got to believe he will take the 3, but you also got to believe he ain't scared of a 2-yard play. Timeout on the field. Why don't we say some more thank yous here? Once again, James Madden, Pat Judge, Chad Barnett, especially Chad Barnett over in H&B. We appreciate what you're up to. T, what is Chad up to?
Well, Chad and Jerry Nolan of one of the partners at H&B Products, also chairman of the board of the Father McKenna Center, he asked, as you were walking to the game today, did you see a homeless person? When you drove to the game, did you see someone on the median asking for food or money? Do you know what to do? Did you just feel helpless or uncomfortable? Well, you can do something, and you can help. The Father McKenna Center is making a difference for men struggling with homelessness, offering basic services and a lifeline to reclaim life. We are located right on Gonzaga's campus and close to ties to DC's Catholic high schools. Volunteer with us. A day of service can be a great team-building opportunity for your church, service group, corporation. There are also so many volunteer opportunities for individual families and small groups.
Awesome. Thank you, Chad. Gonzaga will go for this. 4th down. Caleb Keeper, he's around the side, and he's got it. I'll tell you what.
Wow, he was.
Saeed Myers didn't appreciate the extra step. Caleb knew he had it. Saeed knew he had it. He milked it for a second.
They have found something in fake jet sweep right. Caleb left. It's been a play they've used against good counsel in the overtime. That's a bread and butter. It was just too easy right there.
Good job by the Gonzaga offensive line to let Caleb see what he saw. And once he got outside, it was a no-brainer. Gonzaga up 2 scores, looking to make it an even 14-point lead.
Yeah, they got caught looking inside, Ken. They had no help on the outside. We've got, I think, a roughing the kicker. That's
going to be assessed on the kickoff.
I hope he's okay. I think he is.
But there was no force player on the outside over here. There's no one with contain. I think Saeed was out here. He got caught peeking into the backfield.
He sure did.
One peek, and it's 1 second too late with a guy like Caleb on top of you. But, yeah, he tried to cruise on in there, and Saeed decided, I'm going to give you this one.
Guys, let me finish out real quick for the Father McKenna Center. Go visit www.fathermckennaCenter.org and make a difference in someone's life today. Thank you, H&B Products. Thank you, Jerry Nolan and Chad Barnett.
Good men doing good deeds. That's the way they do it in the WCAC. We appreciate you guys. Gonzaga, all these Gonzaga alums, all these purple people here coming back home on a reunion weekend are pretty darn happy right now. Up 2 touchdowns. The last time DeMatha had the ball, though, they felt pretty good about themselves.
Yeah, we're going to see Cam Edge. He's going to come out flinging it. There's no doubt about it.
6.5 to go in this game. The pressure's on the freshman quarterback to get points on the board in a hurry. As once again, we'll see a kickoff moved up with a dead ball foul. Marshawn Lloyd back deep. And he's going to get the ball at the 1, put his foot down, and turn upfield. He's got a lot of room. He's inside the numbers. He is on his way. This is exactly what DeMatha needed. Marshawn Lloyd gets the ball at the 1. I got that as a 99-yard
You
touchdown
are exactly
return.
right, Ken Marangolo. He caught that right on the 1 or 2 yard line. Very, very slowly started to take it up the field, but then saw the crease and then just put on the Jets and put DeMatha right back in this football game.
Big-time play.
There's a report of 2 gigantic stars over North Capitol and High Street right now, taking it to the house from all over the field. We got an 80-yarder, a 99-yarder.
Yeah,
these guys came.
That was a Dominic Logan-Neely special, y'all, although this time he didn't have to run through 10 tackles. Marshawn Lloyd was pretty clean on his way through there.
Marshawn Lloyd. You know, we talked about seeing that crease on the last time.
That's going to be a blocked extra point.
It.
Big play. Who made that?
What a camera angle right there, too.
Well, it was
a block.
It was a tough snap. The kicker had to delay for just a second and then allowed the rush to get in there and kind of really snuff out that kick.
I think our cameraman knew something right there. He was right on the hold.
Well,
that was incredible.
They're not the best in the business for nothing.
Everyone's dapping up Kai Holmes. He's been Johnny on the spot today.
That's big, gentlemen. That is big, big, big in this ball game. That's an 8-point ball game. First, DeMatha's got to get a stop of this Gonzaga offense, which they're having a hard time stopping. And then on top of that, in order to get things tied up, they're going to have to go for a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
Trey Jameson and Kai Holmes have been making plays all over the field. Bit of a hybrid guy.
Just over 6 minutes to go, guys. It is a 1-score game. DeMatha needs a stop. You know Coach Travers is going to run that clock here. Really goes right back to that decision to go for it on 4th down and let Caleb score for them. That's going to turn out to be a big deal in these closing minutes of this game. This will be fielded and returned by Malcolm Terry for Gonzaga. He's going to try to recreate. He takes some contact, bounces off, and the Stags get there in a hurry.
In the special teams facet of the game here in the 4th quarter, you know, what a great blocked extra point, but DeMatha has made their presence felt. They got athletes all over the field.
Yep.
You got a guy like Marshawn returning kicks, and that kick coverage right there was special. They got a couple minutes here to make a stop.
I'm telling you, though, that blocked extra point is going to end up being something we're going to be talking about later, potentially.
Well, especially when you have a freshman quarterback. And if they were to go down and score a team, we got a freshman guy here in this atmosphere in a 2-point conversion scenario. Never been in a situation like that before in his life, obviously.
There goes Caleb. And once again,
Gonzaga makes a mistake, probably one of their first big mistakes.
Yeah, once again,
along
we got
those lines.
5 yards the wrong way for Gonzaga.
Actually, no, that's the second flag that has hurt the Gonzaga offense.
Well, I hate to call out one of our sponsors, but right before that kickoff return, James Matten was waving his arms and screaming your name. It was as Marshawn Lloyd was running that way towards North Capitol Street.
Joe Hammond continuing to find a crease. And he gets back the penalty yards and then some. It'll be 2nd down. We'll call it about 7.5 as the clock is now becoming a factor for DeMatha. 25 to go on the play clock, and you got to believe they're going to want to let that one get down to the single digits. Caleb stands with his hands on his hips. Let that clock run. Another handoff. And more yards after contact.
He won't go down.
No, I think he's got a first down, too. Joe Hammond, there's a name that we're saying now and get used to hearing it, because if he's going to play like that in this league.
If you're going to run behind your pads in the fourth quarter with that bit of tenacity.
Or how about carry about, I don't know, three, four DeMatha guys?
Well, this is what we talked about, guys.
2, 3. There's another fourth one in there.
Gonzaga lives in the fourth quarter. Gonzaga basically lives and dies on their ability to wear you down and make plays like that late in the game.
Very true. It feels like Cam Edge played yesterday. He's been on that sideline for quite a while.
25 seconds to go on the play clock. As Coach Trivers will let this run under 5 minutes to go in the game. Up 8 points on offense, 1st and 10. DeMatha fans letting him hear it. That Gonzaga offensive line, I saw Joey Traynor.
I was going to say, we're talking about Hammond, we're talking about Allen, Olu Fashanu, Luke Pettibone, Justice Johnson, Joey Traynor, and Patrick Matten. It's their game right now.
It sure is.
I got another DeMatha player down.
Well, we hate to see that. We don't like to speculate on it. We just hope he's okay. I will stop the clock with 4.5 minutes to go in this game.
Tell you what, if you're Bill McGregor on the DeMatha side, you're so frustrated. It's so frustrating to see Gonzaga just eat away this clock, they're not doing anything, spectacular in that. They're just playing smart, hard-nosed football right now, and you just can't get your hands on the ball.
Well,
right?
That's true. And if you're going to milk that clock away, you got to do it with the big boys up front. This game today, out of the 10 starting offensive linemen, we got 7 Power 5 monsters.
Wow.
3 guys returning from first team all WCAC campaigns last season. I mean, Olu Fashanu, Luke Pettibone, and Dwayne Alec Jr. are all 3 of the 5 first-teamers coming back from last year. So we got an offensive line play at a premium today. We'll see what happens here these next 4-12.
Second down, Caleb going back to work with 4 minutes to go in this game. Is a pitch out to his left, and he is met by 5 Stags.
Yeah, they had so much success just pounding it straight into the teeth of the defense.
Jayshon Barham in the play.
But, their offensive philosophy is to spread the field, right, T? Use all parts of it.
Yep.
Meltion Davis involved in that.
They're just trying to play a numbers game. If they got enough inside and you got enough to cover it, let's keep it inside. Let that clock roll. If DeMatha tries to bring people in, then they go to the outside.
Yeah, and there's a reason for that call. I mean, they're trying to show a little something. Fattening frogs for snakes, if you will.
There you go.
We needed that. We needed that, Kev.
I needed to get that off my chest.
Where's Froghorn at? Coming up on 10 seconds to go on the play clock as Coach Trivers is letting the clock be his friend.
This is a stop that DeMatha needs right here, 3rd and about 7.
Snaps in time. Caleb keeps it. He squirts out to the left side.
First down.
And that's going to be a first down for the Eagles. He pauses and picks where he wants to go.
It's bizarre.
It really is kind of bizarre. It's not like he's just getting the ball and going. He's kind of looking, finds. He kind of moves to his left a little bit, moves to his right, finds a spot, and then he goes.
I've never seen a quarterback with this running style that Caleb Williams has. I'm not saying a better, worse, indifferent to that. Nope. I'm saying I've never seen someone run with Le'Veon Bell patience.
I was going to say he's Le'Veon Bell with the ball and Patrick Mahomes in the air.
Yeah. Pretty good combo.
Do you think that will work for you?
He's got over 100 rushing yards, over 100 passing yards. Oh.
Wide sweep.
There we go.
Turner.
1 passing touchdown and 3 rushing touchdowns on the ground. It's just another day on the job. There's some flags on the field.
A little laundry out there. It looks like it's going to bring Gonzaga
it's
back.
In the holding area.
Well, that's a huge call.
That is a huge call. Takes them way back. Going to be 1st and 20.
Well, you can see hands on hips there on that DeMatha D line. You know, they've been battling all day long, but they got to suck it up right now to give their team a chance, to give Cam Edge a chance to get back on the field.
No, I almost feel like they need a break. They need something. They need a turnover or something. The way that this offense is holding on to this ball and moving it down the field, it looks like DeMatha is going to start getting desperate here with 2:30 left to go in this game.
Here comes the snap.
Greg Penn again.
Joe Hammond. Clock moving, but this is going to be a timeout for DeMatha. They're going to have to use them now as we approach 2 minutes to go in the game.
They needed that one.
Yep. 2nd and long.
Looks to be about 15,
yeah,
16?
I think so. 15, 16 yards. Well, guys, the WCAC, we're 2 weeks into league play. We had some amazing action last week. This is finishing out what will be amazing action this week. We want to make sure everyone knows we will be back. We have 2 more WCAC games the week here at First Amendment Sports. St. John's hosting DeMatha. That'll be in 2 weeks. And in 3 weeks, St. John's hosting Gonzaga at Catholic University. We will be there. We will take it through the playoffs. We'll be your eyes on the ground here for the championship game in late November. I know both of these teams we're watching today feel like they belong in that game again.
Well, it's been an awesome run. It was last year. It has been again this year with these young kids and their families. The coaches and ADs being a part of all this has been thrilling, and you can tell the parity in this league amongst the top 4 teams right now.
Yep.
It's nip and tuck. Anything can happen on any given Saturday, and we're going to bear witness to that for the next month.
After the heavyweight bout last night, this one today, setting up for some pretty good football in the coming weeks. Kevin, I think that DeMatha has got to put an extra guy in the box here. They might have to go man-to-man on the outside. I know that's dangerous, but desperate measures ask for desperate times ask for desperate measures.
Yep, I can't argue with you, although, I mean, it's pick your poison.
Correct.
So, when you got a guy back there, you just got to hope for something.
Look, the council picked their poison last night.
They did.
Defensively, they just said, we're going to bring pressure. We don't care, because that's the best way that I think we're going to win. Right now, just the way that Gonzaga is playing this offense, DeMatha's got to put the pressure on them. They've got to bring the noise here on 2nd and 15.
Bring the noise.
It's old school.
And create a 3rd and long situation where Caleb's not going to be the magician that he has been and be able to get out of it.
Base. Well, how low can you go? I believe is what we're talking about here.
I agree with that, but I mean, you can't say he's not going to be the magician because then
Well, when you got one-on-one on the outside and a guy like Caleb who can throw, it's risky. But DeMatha, right now, they just can't allow Gonzaga to continue to eat up five yards at a time and 40 seconds on the clock.
I love what you're saying because it enables Gonzaga to have to make that play and play into the strength of DeMatha. Here we go.
Caleb Keeper off the left tackle.
They're on that one.
Meltion
Davis, big number 99 in on the play.
So it is going to be about 3rd down and maybe 13.
Yeah, it's
12.
On the wrong side of 10, 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go. That play took 5 seconds. It will be 3rd down. DeMatha's starting to taste it. They might just get another chance here. They got to make this stop.
And that was their 3rd timeout. That means that they're
Gonzaga called one of those last timeouts.
Well, I would not want to be the DeMatha defensive coordinator right now, trying to come up with a game plan for 3rd and 10 versus the Magic Man. There's just
Well, it's Josh Wilson, former DeMatha star, Maryland star, played in the NFL for a few years. He knows he's been around these situations.
As a Stag, a Terp, a Raven, and a Redskin, he's had the most localized football career.
True.
And now he's sitting here right smack dab in the heart of the nation's capital on the biggest play of the game. Let's see what Josh comes up with.
Here's what I'm calling. I'm gonna put on my offensive play caller. I like number 11, Hayden Fisher, all wide, all by himself. He's been a great blocker as a wide receiver. That's not what we're going to get here. We're going to get the bunch formation out to the left that Caleb typically runs away from. The wide receivers have been good blockers
usually
today.
A quarterback draw here. They're going in motion with a jet sweep, bringing him back outside.
Back.
There it is.
And he's going to run on the other side. And he's evades the first tackler. He's not going to get first down yardage.
Well done by DeMatha's defense.
They can't stop the clock, but they will force.
Now they're going to get a punt. Now
They will
Gonzaga
force
needs
the
to try
punt.
and get the ball down into about the if they can get it inside the 10-yard line, force a 90-some yard drive for a freshman quarterback with only about a minute and probably going to be, when it's all said and done, maybe about a minute 20 to go.
Very true, T. And we have watched Randy Trivers in this matchup last year trust his defense when he was backed up against the clock in way worse situations than this. He's putting faith in that defense right now to say, hey, try and go 80 to 90 yards on us and make the two-point conversion. We got about a minute to go.
Cameron Thomas.
Thomas.
Oh, there's a muff. Look at that.
Wow.
And it goes out.
Well, there was a muff.
Look at DeMatha
was
is celebrating.
Hugely
Oh,
unfortunate
my Lord.
for this Gonzaga team that has played so well for that ball to be dropped on the ground, and then the punter tried to just get rid of it.
So you're saying there's a chance.
And the ball goes out at
I got it right around the 30-yard line. 30 yards
the
to go.
Gonzaga 30.
Down
Special teams have been a huge factor, but how about this? Cam Edge, in real time, has been sitting on that sidelines for over a half an hour.
Oh, yeah.
After his big throw, it has been so long since he's been part of the game due to the kickoff return. You know, he's over there getting called. You got to hope he's ready to rock and roll.
I love Cameron Thomas here, but Josh Dodd, the senior, he's the guy. Well, number 2, obviously, is the guy.
Yes.
And he's being the guy.
DeMatha's got to go with a hurry-up 2-minute offense here with your freshman quarterback.
Coming up on a minute to go in the game.
Empty
Cam
backfield.
Edge gets him back. It's a second and short. Quick pass to Cameron Thomas, who stays on his feet.
If he can get within first down.
Gonzaga's going for that ball.
How close is he? He got it. They stopped the clock
Looks
here
like
to
they
move
got
the
it.
chains.
First down.
54 seconds to
Clock
go in this
stops
game.
for the first down for the chains to move.
Yeah, and they'll restart it here on the ref's call.
Looks like they're going to go empty backfield from here on out.
Marshawn Lloyd in the right slot.
Put it on the arm of the freshman.
Oh,
there should be a
there's
flag.
the flag.
Yes.
It comes out. Yeah, you saw that coming again.
He was almost tackled.
I believe that was Josh Dodd coming open.
Great protection too by the DeMatha front
Ken,
line.
that was the junior, Jaden Bradley. I think he looked. He's listed at 6'4", and that was a big man coming across the field.
It is going to be pass interference.
Another one. Bill McGregor said he was the basketball player as well. Not sure if he's going to play this year, but Jaden Brantley 6'4". It's a nice target to have.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Bradley pulling the flag out on that one for the squad. So now you got plenty of time, but you can't take a sack, freshman.
It's first and goal. First and goal from just inside the 10-yard line, is it not?
Yeah, it's right about the 9.
Cam Edge, freshman quarterback for the DeMatha Stags. In the
41
shadows of the buildings here on I Street. He's looking to throw, and he's got
There
a
it
wide
is.
open man. DeMatha
Jaden Bradley.
DeMatha is now, because of the extra point,
How
big
cool,
play coming up.
calm, and collected was that freshman right there?
It sure was.
Heading onto North Capitol Street. That was a big-time drive.
But you've got to remember, they had that extra point blocked, so now they've got to go for 2 to get a tie.
They got to go for 2, and they got a guy, number 2, who's likely going to factor here. 37 seconds to go. This is the game for DeMatha.
Here it is.
Tell you what, I feel like DeMatha's had some wide receivers running open here. I think number 2 gets used as a decoy here.
Sure, and he's going to be out in the slot.
The freshman with the swag. Here we go. We're going
Now
5 wide.
Going empty backfield again.
Here we go. Cam Edge looking to throw. He's got time in the middle of the field. Gonzaga makes the stop. I don't see any flags on the field.
Flag.
No flags. Gonzaga is celebrating. The Stags have no reason to hang their heads. They have played an amazing game. They brought it all the way back. 2-point win. It will be a 2-point win if Gonzaga can bring this home.
Josh Wilson is on. He is on the 10-yard line in the middle of the field. I've never seen this before without a penalty flag being thrown.
That's
he's going to throw it. He's got his hand on it.
And here comes a penalty. Now,
yeah, well, that's a killer. Josh Wilson's going crazy. He is on the field.
Yeah, he's got to be helped off by one of his.
I mean, listen, you still have the chance to onside kick and stay a part of this game. There's 37 seconds left. You can't afford to walk onto the 10-yard line halfway across the field and get a penalty for your team as a defensive coordinator.
You can't get that emotional.
Well, these kickers have kicked from just about every possible position in this game, forward and backwards.
The score, 28-26. Huge action.
That's the only way these guys know how to play. Close, tight. Everyone on the field today is making plays. Make sure they have the right amount of guys here. Once again, Josh Dodd directing traffic for his Stagg brothers.
So it looked like Robert Jones ran into some contact, but I'm not saying it was a penalty. It could have been incidental. I didn't get a great look at it. Look at that onside kick.
And it goes out of bounds.
The bounce to Gonzaga. That's going to do it.
35 seconds. Caleb will come out. Victory formation in store for us here on I Street as the Gonzaga faithful is in celebration mode with just before we're going to get the final whistle on this one.
Once again, the kids put on a show.
They did.
My hat's off to both of these schools.
Gonzaga had a great game plan coming in here, and I think they executed it extremely well. DeMatha was grasping at straws a few times, had some big plays that brought him back into the game, but just couldn't finish it off and pull it within a tie here late in the game. And Gonzaga's going to do victory formation here, deservedly so, having earned this win.
So the first 3 games in WCAC play between the top 4 teams, we've got an overtime, a 3-point come from behind, and a 2-point hang on. I'm telling you, the parity in this league is ridiculous. Stay tuned for the next month. We're not going anywhere.
Sportsmanship first, front and center, as the DeMatha Stags and Gonzaga Eagles meet at midfield, shake hands on yet another great game between them. Another win for the Purple Eagles. Way to recover, big time recovery from their loss to Good Counsel last week. WCAC play is off, is flourishing.
It's underway, fellas.
We have underway. A final. We've gone to 0-0-0. Celebrate it here on I Street, guys. The celebration starts now.
Well, we've gotten to see everyone go up against the test at this point. Today was DeMatha's test here. I think they stepped up to the challenge, fell just short. But we got plenty more games to go out here. I want to say thank you to all the Gonzaga folks that treated us well today.
It's been fantastic.
Open arms. They're down here telling us, talk about that on the show. You know, I just love that you guys are all listening to the show, that you guys treated us the way you did today. And a huge special thank you to Joe Rada. He's the man.
And end of the fourth quarter here, we got some second half highlights brought to you by Shulman Rogers. Thanks again, Mike, Carl, and Aaron. There was some good looking highlights that we saw as Caleb Williams was able to punch that in.
What a great drive that was, too. What a great drive it was, eating up a lot of time on the clock.
Cam Edge, the freshman quarterback, hitting Josh Dodd in the seam.
What a ball.
As DeMatha reasserts themselves in the second half and really puts them back. Here's Caleb Williams. Little lollipop when he gets in the end zone. Decisive score for the Gonzaga Purple Eagles. We'll be back in 2 weeks covering St. John's and DeMatha. We will see these Gonzaga boys again at Catholic University. They take on St. John's there. On behalf of Tim Strachan, Kevin Ricca, Quentin Mayo, Luke David, Vic Maddox, the whole team here, Matt the Real Deal Seal. I'm Ken Marangolo saying, ain't the WCAC spectacular?